Ollie, ollie, oxen free. Yes, it was me. I heard you saw me when I was chopping down the cherry tree. Oh, I wish you didn't, 'cause now I have to say I'm sorry when I'm not. I'm sorry that I got caught. George Washington said that he would never tell a lie. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. He's a much better man than I am. We all remember the story, and if the story is true, then George Washington must have been a really great dude. I didn't care about the tree before, and I still don't. If you want me to feel bad about what I did, I won't. But either way, I apologize. Not about the tree that I chopped. I'm only sorry that I got caught. I know you're angry, but try and see it from my point of view. And if you can, just try to put yourself in my shoes. Since I don't like cherries and I don't like trees and I don't care for you, then what else was I supposed to do? Now what's done is done. The cherry tree is falling down. I don't get why you're making such a big deal of all this now. Oh, I wish you didn't see me do it, 'cause I hate to say I'm sorry when I'm not. I'm only sorry that I got caught.
Hello, hello. And tonight we have a special event going on. We have Jam Sully versus Austin in a head-to-head Star Wars trivia. However, things are going to be delayed a little bit, so Austin and I will go over a video. And this will be the normal thing that we normally do on here. And I've created a redundancy in my sentence, I realize that. But let me go ahead and see if he is here.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Hello, Austin.
What the crap was that video? What did you subject me to? That was awful. That song was so weird. That's so weird. What a weird way to start this. I'm lost. I am bad. It was a picture of a squirrel for 3.5 minutes, and that was weird, man. That was really weird.
I found it earlier today, and I thought it would be good for the stream because the stream can get weird.
You got me. you got me on that one. All right, fair enough. Yeah.
But do you want to go ahead and start the video, or do you want to?
Yeah, might as well torture me like you always do.
Have
What
you
is
heard
this?
of Have you heard of extra credit?
Oh no, I have heard of extra credits. He's got some bad takes.
Oh, this is probably the worst one. This one came out 2 months ago.
Oh no, is this that orcs are stereotypes?
No. He does touch on it for a second and then says that he's not going to mention that, but then mentions it later.
But mentions it? Oh, cool, perfect. That sounds exactly like the kind of garbage you show me all the time. But I will say hello, anybody who watches this. Appreciate you. You should go subscribe to Cyreks for more garbage like you're about to witness, if it interests you. Also,
Yeah.
like, comment, subscribe, and share the video because none of us have social media accounts. So we rely on you, beautiful people, to promote us.
Exactly. And also, Austin and Jam Sully are on here regularly. Austin more so than Jam.
Yeah, because I guess I'm a sadist.
Uh,
No, is it masochist where you like being tortured?
yes.
Whichever one that is. I guess I'm that.
You're a masochist.
And I guess so because I keep coming back to these god awful videos with terrible takes.
That, and you've also usurped the co-host spot.
That is correct. Thank you for reminding me. I have successfully usurped the co-host of the Cyreks show. What was it called again? The Sisyphus Project?
The Sisyphus Experience.
Yeah, I have successfully co-opted co-host from your cohorts.
Yes, you have. So let's go ahead and start this real quick because it starts off great.
Oh, I bet. It starts
If you
off
paid
great.
attention to the game's discourse on the internet during 2019 and 2020, you might have noticed a reoccurring argument about some species from fantasy media, specifically orcs. Now, not to worry. This episode isn't going to be just another member of the chorus talking about how if all orcs in a game are blindly evil, that it's racist. Instead, we want to discuss how that...
Or if they're evil, it's blindly racist. Is that what we're just...
I don't see how that can be a whole thing. I don't see the logic behind that. Do you?
Is he going to say that Tolkien's clearly an awful author because of the fact he made a species of pure evil? Is that basically what he's going to say? Is that the best epic of all time is actually secretly racist or something? I'm sure it's extra.
He's going to mention Tolkien, I think.
Of course. I'm not too familiar with his work, but he mainly covers video games, right? And then doesn't he have another channel that's like a history channel or something?
I think so. I'm not. Okay. I stopped watching Extra Credit after the one that claimed you were a Nazi.
Oh, the Nazi debacle. Yes, that's about the time that I was like, okay, you've gone off the deep end, sir. If you play a video game and you're a Nazi in that video game, that makes you a Nazi. The game should tell you that Nazis are bad. And you should have, the other thing is if you're going to join a multiplayer lobby and you pick the Nazis, then you should have a longer queue time.
Yeah, for some reason.
Yeah, it should take you longer to play the game. And inversely, that's just going to make anybody who picks the allies also have longer queue times, or they're
because
just
there's not
going to be
anybody
bots
on the other side.
Yeah, it's such a stupid idea. How about we just teach everyone? I don't know a single person, I guess, unless you're under the age of 10, maybe, that doesn't know Nazis are bad. And the only reason they don't is because they've never heard of them. But like as soon as you discover World War II, it's pretty easy to identify evil and good. Although technically, if you want to get, well, no, World War I was way more nuanced, but World War II was kind of straightforward.
Yeah. World War II was a lot more straightforward than World War I.
No, definitely. Them Germans, man, they really like to build their empires and then celebrate by declaring war on the world. About every 50 years or so. Should be coming up on a third.
Possibly. We'll see.
It's really funny if you think about like Germany during World War II and like how like they were like evil and fierce and all this stuff, and then now you go look at Germany and they're like hurga singing on the mountaintops and eating sausage, drinking beer, Oktoberfest. It's like, wow, you guys really got knocked down a few pegs.
Yeah, they have. But hey, the world's not in that much of a crisis from them anymore.
Yeah, dude, we're not finishing this video. There's no way.
No.
There's
But
no way. How long? What are we?
We're just
like
buying time.
20 seconds in.
Sully to get here.
This isn't happening. Yeah, let's go on.
Particular choice is simply bad game design. Thanks so much to NordVPN
Oh,
for
God.
sponsoring today's episode. To take control of your internet security, get a huge
I hate
discount
ads.
on up top. Please welcome James Mendez Hose, who guest wrote this episode. Thanks so much,
Oh,
Mendez.
Good
Much
stuff,
of the
man.
recent conversation on orcs points out that characterizing a whole
Wait.
species in your game as ugly.
Wait, I thought we weren't going to talk about orcs. I thought he literally just said, "Hey, you know the whole orc thing. I know that's a topic a lot of people have touched on, so we're not really going to address that. We're just going to talk about evil species. So orcs."
Exactly. I
What the
told
heck?
you he's gonna throw out his whole logic immediately.
Yeah, what the crap, dude? It's only been like 12 seconds, and you already forgot. You said you're not going to talk about orcs.
Yeah.
Good job, guest writer.
Just wait for the next slide. It gets even better.
Okay, yeah.
Might be harmful to real-world groups.
Those are some
Real world groups.
What are you, dude? Are you a racist? Why did you? Oh no! Oh no! I thought we weren't doing this. I thought he said he wasn't going to stereotype the whole orcs are black people thing. That's so. Oh my god.
No, he's just saying
people
that
are
orcs are
awful.
evil. It should
People
be
are
evil
awful.
outright.
Yeah, and great imagery. Totally not looking like you're stereotyping right now. Oh my god, this is. Do we have to do this?
Yes.
Regularly mischaracterized as ugly, warlike, and malevolent. However, this video isn't that.
Did he just
So if
call
you
that
want more on
lady
discussion-
ugly, warlike, and malevolent?
Yes.
It looked like just a nice old lady drinking a cup of tea.
Right? But he's saying that
She's an orc?
he's saying
What?
that the people who don't know anything about fantasy like to stereotype real world people as these things, and the people who actually play it and understand that it's fantasy don't actually do that, makes these people look dumb. Like really dumb.
I'm nodding my head. Silently
Mendez breaks it
agrees.
down wonderfully over on his website, and we'll have a link to that in the description. But
Yeah,
here,
no, we
we're
don't
going
touch
to talk
that.
about something related. Why characterizing a group like this in your
Evil.
game can be lazy at best and at worst, actively harmful to the world you're creating. When
Really?
designing a game's world and populating it with fictional species, a designer
Okay.
might be tempted to differentiate them from one another by certain inalienable qualities, like their moral alignment, violent versus peaceful, law versus chaos, good
Mhm.
versus evil, and the like.
Mhm.
It's
Is-
a common trope in speculative fiction, but it
Is that
Yeah.
yeah, but he just said that. I totally forgot. I just spaced out on what the word
He said
used
making
was.
them outright evil is bad.
Yeah, no, but he said like something like to make different things stand out, you'll give it different
Moral alignment.
inalienable
inalienable.
traits.
Yes.
And then he said that morals are inalienable traits. I don't think that's right.
well,
Like I'm
moral
pretty sure that's
alignments
not
can
true.
be.
I don't
You
think
can
that
change your morals over
are,
time in the game.
Yeah. Well, no, we're talking about in the game. I was talking about just like saying in order to differentiate your different species. I don't see how morals would be considered inalienable. That's all. Because I feel like that's something that it really doesn't matter where you come from. Your morals can be different. You
Yeah,
could grow up in the same house with someone and have different morals, even though you had the same childhood.
yeah, that's completely fair because I definitely have different morals than other people that I grew up with.
So
But
I don't see how that's inalienable. I feel like that's something you choose. Like,
well, whenever you're creating a fantasy race or fantasy species, you can give that species a particular moral alignment and have some deviation depending on the characters that you create.
yeah,
But
isn't that generally for simplicity? Like, it's like if I'm setting up a game and I'm like, hey, you guys are going to be playing as the good guys, so everybody you fight is going to be the bad guys, because otherwise we're getting into some, you're going to have to really start, this isn't entertainment anymore if all of a sudden it's all just moral conundrums that you're getting thrown into all the time.
Yep.
To like, are the people you're fighting really the bad guys? It's like, wait, we're just supposed to be playing this game. To keep it simple, we just quickly generalize things. We're just like, yeah, orcs, those are going to be the bad guys, and you guys are going to be the good guys, and you go fight the orcs. Okay, fun. Let's have fun. And then it comes down to level design and gameplay and all that. Everything else is pretty much just a paint job. You're just like, that one's the bad guy. What do we want him to look like? Why don't we put skulls all over them? Cool.
Yeah, we don't do that. And I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it just makes you overthink things, and you don't want that in a fantasy setting because it's escapism.
Yeah. I mean, unless that's what everybody wants to, it's not, there's no rules that say you shouldn't. I was just saying, like you're saying there, for escapism, if it's just, you're not necessarily always sitting down to play a game to really mentally challenge yourself on the morals of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to add to what you were saying earlier, I think it's like, I think you were basically saying about nuance, that we might sit down and say, hey, this race is usually aligned this way. But if it's something like a tabletop game, you can look at that and literally be like, not my game. Nah, they're actually good. Like I was playing D&D, and I made the goblins in the first encounter just to throw everybody off. I actually made them the good guys, but they were hired, and they didn't have any information that the goblins were actually being driven out of their land, and they were attacking a local village to try and get their land back. And so the players were hired by the village to take out the goblins, and it wasn't until after they slaughtered all of them that they realized, oh wait, the village actually stole their land. So
yeah,
not
like you
everything.
can add things to your story like that and make the creatures you thought were evil be sympathetic.
Yeah,
but
of
it
course.
takes a good storyteller to do such a thing.
Yeah, I did a terrible job at it, but it was funny. It was really funny, especially after the fact that they took a bunch of like gunpowder and kegs of it and stuff and like blew up something like 30 goblins, and they're like, victory is ours, and then like gave PTSD to a bunch of villagers that had been captured and stuff like that. So it was funny, in like a dark humor kind of way. The gallows humor type.
Yeah, and dark humor can be good.
Yeah. The point I'm making is, I feel like he has attributed morals in the wrong sense of what morals are, and that he's about to make designing games way harder than it should be.
Yeah.
He's trying to, it sounds like he's getting ready to list off a bunch of rules on like, hey, this is how you should make a game, and then we're just never going to get another game. Like, because I bet what he lists off would actually be an okay game. I'm not even going to say that he's going to list off some really stupid stuff like that wouldn't be fun. But if this is supposed to be like, hey, everyone who ever makes a game from now on, here's some rules you should follow, every game's just going to become homogenous. And we're already getting too much of that in the market as it is, except for indie developers. But like the gaming landscape has become very homogenous. You know, they all just reiterate upon each other, so that none of them are really unique anymore. And this just seems like saying that's a good idea, and we should keep doing that and make games more and more. So you no longer actually have different IPs. You just have different coats of paint over different the game. It's the same game. It's just a different coat of paint for each franchise.
Yeah, and Pathfinder First Edition, not Second Edition because I don't like Second Edition. Pathfinder First Edition was D&D 3.5 because they were getting rid of the 3.5 books as 5e was rolling out.
Well, 4e, but yeah.
No. 4 came out first, and then 3.5 came out because nobody liked 4th edition.
Okay, my mistake. I didn't know that.
So
that is very true. Nobody liked 4th edition. That's very true. It's actually gotten some love in hindsight, though, now that it's been a few years. People are like, it's really not that bad. There's a few mechanics that a lot of people still borrow.
Yeah, and with 3.5...
But we do that with every edition.
People wanted to stick to it because they felt it was a more in-depth combat mechanic and role-playing mechanic.
Stupidly in-depth.
So what Pathfinder did was it took a lot of the mechanics from it, simplified a few, expanded on some others, and also changed up the world and some of the races, and added more races as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love it for that. So it's
its own thing, even though it was based on something else.
Yeah, it's just an expansion of D&D with its own creative license on it.
Right. And I think they did a better job with the action economy in Pathfinder. Like the way your turn works actually makes more sense than it does in D&D. D&D is very strict. And what's the word I'm actually looking for? It's not strict, rigid, I guess. Rigid in combat.
And
like
it can
what
get stagnant.
is an action? Yeah, what is an action? What isn't an action? What's a bonus action? What isn't? And like there's some when can you actually move and when can't you and all that stuff. Where Pathfinder was like, hey, let's keep it real simple. Everything you can do is an action. You get 3 actions?
Yeah.
There you go. Simple.
You get to move 3 times. You get to swing 3 times, though you do have extra attacks in there, so it does add attack actions if you want to take them.
Like if I choose one of my 3 actions to be an attack action, I actually get to take 2 attack actions, something like that.
Yeah. And then you have a sheathing action, like sheathing and unsheathing your weapon is an action.
Yep, unless you take a feat. But we're getting really sidetracked. We're getting really sidetracked because I'm actually playing a Mass Effect campaign that's based on 3.5. So I've realized, and then we played that Pathfinder, which was isn't that we played Starfinder.
Starfinder, yeah.
Yeah, which is Pathfinder in space, and that was really fun. But those, holy crap! When you sit down to roll a character, it seems so complicated, and then you actually play, and you're like, oh yeah, okay. Really easy.
The only thing that you got to roll in Starfinder though is your stats because your health builds upon itself depending on what class you take.
Yeah.
And that's how the new 2nd edition for Pathfinder works. So it's a mixture of 3.5 and Pathfinder 2nd edition. But to continue back on to the main topic, let us continue on to the video.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Especially in the context of a game, painting an entire species with the same moral brush actually weakens the entire thing.
How?
I guess.
No, you can have an outright.
He said
evil.
He's the moral authority right now. It's his video, so what he says is right. The end.
No, he can be wrong in his own video.
What? No, that's not. No, he's a video essayist. They're never wrong.
I've seen some hot takes, and this is a hot take.
Yeah, it is pretty hot take. Because I think the easiest way to explain how this is wrong to just say, hey, you've ruined your game by painting everyone with the... We already basically debunked that, I guess, in a way of really you're just saying, hey, you're going to be the good guy, and to keep things simple as the player, these things you fight are the bad guys. So let's just keep it real simple. And you got people like this guy, I bet, who watches Star Wars and then will make a really strong argument for why the Empire was actually the good guys and the Rebel were evil.
Well, I mean, the Empire provided jobs. The Rebels, not so much.
Well, if we're going to get into this, since the sequel trilogy was released, yes, the Rebels were actually really awful, and the Empire was a better system to live under. There wasn't child slaves under the Empire,
unless you were in the uncharted space,
right? So, as in, you're not in their territory. If you live outside the borders, then obviously, you get your own rules. And the Empire weren't the galactic police that would go outside of their own borders to break up things, to be like, no, you got to live by our code. No, they're like, hey, the Republic is now the Empire. All the established territory remains the same. We're not going to be expansionists. And we're going to bring law and order. And then the rebels destroyed all that, took over, formed the new republic, and basically just let everything go to chaos, because Canto Bight is a really good example of that, because you got child slavery under the Republic's watch in Republic space.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how could you let that happen?
I don't know. Bad policing.
Also, living in the universe of Star Wars, why would you ever want a child slave or a living slave when you could have a robot?
Because robots have feelings, don't you know?
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. I forgot about the feminist robot. I forgot all about that in Solo.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny.
Now, there are some really funny droids in Star Wars, but
yeah, sure.
At the same time, they're programmed to be funny.
Yeah, no, they're not. That's something I think maybe it wasn't communicated well in the film, so there's no real, because death of the author and everything, so it doesn't really matter what I'm about to say. But George Lucas did pretty much state that the only reason it seems like they have personalities is because they were programmed to have personalities, not that they're independent and autonomous.
Yeah, then there's the issue where they actually feel pain in the sequels.
Yeah,
in the original trilogy.
Yeah,
they do. They don't.
Yeah, no, there's like that torture room at Jabba's where they're torturing droids and they're screaming, and it's like, what? How is this a thing? This doesn't make sense. And then you have R2-D2, which I'm pretty sure, due to like rampancy or whatever, he's technically become sentient.
Yeah, because he hasn't had his mind wiped like 3 people
for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Or longer. Like, who knows?
Because you saw the rampancy start in episode 3.
What do you mean by that?
Remember whenever he was starting to have issues with his AI, and he was disobeying orders from Anakin and Obi-Wan, and having a tough time with the elevator?
Oh, that's a good way to... Yeah, you can definitely turn that lens on and look at it that way. I get what you're saying. I think it was supposed to just be more of a joke and saying that he accidentally messed up. Not
so
that,
what you're saying is the droids are
still
fallible? Which is
holy crap
assessment?
Oh no. What am I saying? Let me deflect and point you at this video that's stereotyping and say, hey, laugh at him instead of me because he's wrong.
This idea that a certain subgroup, like race, nationality, or sex, has inalienable traits is called biological essentialism or simply bioessentialism. And it's
we're really getting into this?
Talk about qualities like how many legs an animal has or whether it can fly. But
is there enough time to actually talk about this kind of like psychology in a 7-minute video? What is this? 8 minutes?
He touches on it barely.
Is this it? Is this essentially just going to bring it up and say, hey, yeah, have you heard of this concept? Here's a real quick, like, sweeping broad brush. And then we're going to move on. And you know that I'm smart and I'm right because I know this exists.
Essentially.
Or we could actually get into the meat of it.
We're going to get into the meat of it whenever it comes to world building, not bioessentialism.
Okay. Because, like birds act like birds. Just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, and there are some flightless and
Yeah, but like even the different species of birds that look completely different and act completely, they all bird like all the time. They're very
exactly.
bird. In that bioessentialism right there, they're just bird. Bird's bird.
Dog, dog.
Dog's dog. There's hundreds of different types of dogs, but they
Cat's
all
cat.
dog. Mm-hmm. No matter how big the cat is, the cat cats. I'm serious. Like watch some like safari lion crap. Like they're literally just cats. They're just big cats and they do what cats do. They're lazy and like sit around licking themselves. The only
Purr.
difference I guess between them is that they're okay with having prides where most cats, unless you're a cat hoarder type person, the cats like to be left alone. But they'll get along, you can have freaking 10, 20 cats and they'll learn to get along.
Or if
I mean,
they're
they
from
still
the same
fight.
litter, they definitely get along and
Yeah.
hate to be separated from one another.
I think that's how prides actually work. It might just be that since they're all born around the same time to the same family, so they just get used to being around each other. I mean, you can also observe that in mice and rats. Generally speaking, they don't. They like to have space, but if you put them into captivity, like the Great Mouse Utopia experiment, they will get to the point that they develop a social habit of where they'll only eat when others eat. They won't ever eat alone. And generally, like you can observe this, like if you have a couple dogs, if you give them food, they usually walk away from each other to eat it. Animals generally space out when they're going to feed, and like they might be gathering it from the same spot, but they're going to take it. That's why like some dogs will walk over to the bowl, pick up food, walk to the other side of the room, drop it on the floor, and then start eating it slowly. It's just something in them. But you can cause creatures to whatever the crap I'm talking. I feel like I'm rambling. To get codependent. You can teach creatures to be codependent on each other to where they start eating together and they literally change what their natural tendencies would be and create new tendencies. And you can do that within like 1 or 2 generations.
Hold on. I want to bring up something real quick.
Oh, okay.
Because it relates to what's going on today with you and
Can we make a t-shirt that says Bird's Bird? Bioessentialism. Bird's bird.
Bird's bird.
It's simple as that. Bird's full stop bird. Actually, it's one sentence, isn't it? It's just bird's bird full stop.
I know this is completely off topic, but you should see this.
Okay. Oh no.
Ninth,
What do we?
Ninth Circuit Court Judge Kenneth K. Lee calls The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker mediocre and schlocky in Con Agra ruling.
Wait, in a what? In a what ruling?
So, Con Agra Foods was in a class action lawsuit. And
okay, I've never heard of them before. What are they? Who are they?
Basically they were talking to Wesson Oil ConAgra agreed to refrain from marketing their Wesson Oil as 100% natural because
Okay.
And the judge said that the oil appears meaningless because ConAgra no longer owns Wesson Oil. But here's the fun part.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how this is related to Star Wars at all. So we're talking about an oil distribution. Is this oil like petrol, or are we talking oil like canola oil?
It's like canola oil.
Okay, because I'm assuming if it's a food company.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways.
He said, so the judge said, simply put, Richardson, the new owner of Wesson Oil, can resume using 100% natural label at any time it wishes, thereby depriving the class of any value theoretically afforded by injunction. Conagra thus essentially agreed not to do something over which it lacks the power to do. The judge then made a comparison to the 2 Star Wars sequel trilogy films produced by Disney. He wrote that this is like George Lucas promising no more mediocre and schlocky Star Wars sequels shortly after selling the franchise to Disney. Such a promise would be illusionary.
Okay, that's pretty funny. I like how so that's great. So the judge was like, yeah, so this is the same thing as the Star Wars franchise. It's dumb. Both of you are dumb.
Also, if you think that he wasn't referring to The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, Lee made it clear he was in the footnotes of the case.
Oh, so like after the trial was over, he made sure to go back on the documents and add an addendum to be like, by the way, the schlocky movies I'm talking about, that's The Last Jedi.
And The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, God. That's so funny. Oh, my God.
So
what a good judge. He's funny.
they-
Or she. I didn't catch the name.
His name is Kenneth K. Lee.
Okay. Kenneth, most likely a guy then.
So,
Not to stereotype.
So he then wrote on Twitter. So Ted Frank wrote, also the Ninth Circuit makes it official, holding that, as a matter of law, Disney's The Last Jedi was mediocre and schlocky.
So it is legal. It's legally a judge
bad.
has ruled it.
It's
That's
legally
so
bad.
funny. That's so funny. I forgot all about the fact that natural was starting to get removed from labels, and so is normal. Normal's starting to get removed from things as well. They're saying they're improper terms for the products.
Really?
Yeah. They're trying to take there's some washers and dryers that don't have a normal setting anymore or regular. I think they're trying to get rid of those and replace them. I don't know what word they're replacing it with, but. And then like how 100% natural, there's the whole, natural, what's the other one? Organic. And there's just a few different terms that they're starting, because there's also farm raised or grass fed or whatever, free roam. There's all these terms that are kind of ambiguous, I think is the right way to put it, where you read it and you think you know what it means, but if you look at the actual definition as by the company making it, it probably doesn't mean what you think it means. It's more misleading. So they're working on getting all of that changed.
Okay. I mean,
yeah, it's a little weird, but at the same time, if it's company transparency is good. I applaud company transparency.
And that's one thing that we can hope for in the future.
Big thumbs up. I'm not sure
definitely need it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not quite sure how these few things that I mentioned a minute ago will actually affect that, but I'm all about transparency. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, we'll laugh at it and change it back. Like butter versus margarine.
Yeah, they're somewhat similar, but the taste is a bit different.
No, one's fat and one's milk. There's a big difference.
Well, it's made from the fat in the milk.
One's plastic, basically. Margarine's basically just like fancy plastic. Are we going to fight right now? Are you about to fight me? Butter for life.
I agree. I'm just saying the taste is off on margarine. You got to use butter.
It's basically fancy plastic that you can eat.
I agree.
Did you know they bleach sugar? If you ever eat white sugar, that's just been run through bleach in order to change the color. I think we've talked about this before, but I wanted to say it on this show.
Yeah, you and I talked about that.
I just wanted to say it on this stream. Fact check me, suckers. Prove me wrong. I've looked into it. I watched an entire How It's Made documentary on sugar, and they bleach it.
Yep, they do. And sugar originally is just brown sugar.
Yep.
It's
sugarcane. It's sugarcane, which is brown.
Oh, yeah.
Brown sugar is slightly different than sugarcane. Don't ask me how. It just is. I just know it is. That's like, there's that meme, I think, going around where it's like, It's a meme based on a joke that a comedian told, which was it'd be so great to travel back in time and be like a wizard and be like, look at this cell phone, and in the future we can all just like call each other over the entire planet, and there's all these like towers and cables that connect everything, and you can literally just like watch plays in your own home, because that'd be the easier way to explain movies, right? Is like someone's putting on a play and you're like, yeah, you could be back in your cave, and that would just be on the wall, and all this, and it's like, wow, crazy man from the future, how do you do all this?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Electricity. How do you get electricity? I don't know. Yeah.
But if you do know how electricity works and you get sent back in time, you can mess with a lot of things.
That's very true. That is very true. Hook up wires to a potato and make a light bulb and freak everyone out because you're a witch, and then you get burned. Don't go back in time and use technology. It's a terrible idea.
Don't. Also, don't go back in time and start washing your hands if you're a doctor. They'll consider you loony.
Whoa, yeah, that's a good point. Germs? It's like, hey, you think it's a bad idea that we just performed surgery on this guy with the scalpel, and now we're turning around and we're just going to do it on this guy while it's still got blood on it? What? No, it's perfectly fine. Oh, that guy died. Huh. I guess he was sick.
Yeah, the guy that originally came up with saving women in childbirth, because he decided after every birth to start washing his hands and his utensils.
Yeah.
And had his students do the same. That were
guy's
assisting him.
insane.
That
dude is nuts.
That guy is insane. Put him in the loony bin.
Yeah.
Oh, the death rates fell whenever he was doing it, and the death rates back up.
Like back when we didn't bathe, and then we did start bathing, but you only bathed like once every month or something like that, and every member of the family used the same tub of water. So by the time and you start from the father, then the mother, then the children, sons, then daughters, from youngest to oldest or whatever. And so by the time you get to the end of it, it's just like pitch black mud from all the dirt. Ugh.
Yeah.
The last person's not really washing off, are they? Also, baths are gross in general. I just want to throw that out there. If you don't take a shower, you're weird. Baths are gross. You're sitting in muck. You're sitting in your own muck.
Yeah, I don't see how people can take a bath. I prefer a shower.
No, I mean, like, I could understand if you want to take a shower and then you're like, now I would like to sit in water, and then you fill up your tub and then, like, I don't know, grab a glass of wine and some candles and bath salts and go eat a
Just take a bath after you've taken your shower and get all that muck off.
Mm-hmm. Also, on the note of like traveling back in time with technology, have you ever heard those theories that like the Greek gods and all that stuff were actually just like super hyper advanced alien species or whatever that already had like power armor and guns or whatever?
You mean ancient aliens?
Oh, is that ancient? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that. Have you ever heard of that? You ever heard of ancient aliens? Okay, cool. That's all.
Like, the one thing, though, that I don't understand, because they've been going through a lot of tombs in Egypt and translating the hieroglyphs, a lot of the hieroglyphs don't mention the pyramids or the Sphinx at all.
Did you know they've also, to cut you off entirely, that I was just reading a news article the other day that they found another lower set of tunnels beneath the pyramids. Like, they thought they'd already gone to mapped out all the pyramids, and then someone found another set of tunnels beneath them.
I did not see that yet.
Yeah, so they're like, there's even more to the pyramids than we have thought being mapped out currently.
Because I watch Bright Insight, and he did a whole documentary about the tunnels, and actually was able to go through a couple of them in the pyramids.
Okay. And they don't mention the Sphinx or any of the pyramids themselves.
Nope, the hieroglyphs never do.
Okay, so here's an explanation. I got one for you. The same way New York City is built on the remains of old New York City. What if at the time there wasn't, when they made those tunnels, and then they started building on top of it and eventually built the pyramids? They never just went, they're like, why are we going to go back and add stuff to that when we can write new stuff?
Because the ones that they've found that are around the same time period of the pyramids mention them. But then there are ones that are older than the pyramids.
Wait, hold on. How do they determine how old it is? Because if you say carbon dating, I don't buy it. Carbon dating is a bad way to date things because it does that loop thing where you use itself to prove itself. Circular logic.
Yeah, no, they don't do that. It's because a lot of the ruins from ancient Egypt are built upon older ruins.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And those older ruins are a lot older and have a completely different history than ancient Egypt.
Okay, that's cool. Hey, did you also know that I forget where it was? I think it was near Jerusalem. I'd have to look it back up, but it was another article I read where they basically found a city. They excavated a city that was the size of New York with the same city layout.
Of New York?
Yeah, like not one. I'm not saying one for one. I'm just meaning like the same way that we do city blocks and square buildings and all that stuff. Like they excavated a city that would have fit the population of New York that followed the same design pattern we used when we set up New York and all of our major cities. Yeah. So apparently we've been making that for a long time. We've been doing grids for a long time. Squares, man, they're so good.
They've also found some civilizations sites that predate actual civilization settlements. Because originally
Mesopotamia? Like
no,
predate Mesopotamia?
No. Yeah, like predates Mesopotamia.
Oh,
Because
man.
they found some settlements that are older than I think
And there's also
10,000 years.
Babel. Was Babel before or after Mesopotamia? Babylon? Is that before or after Mesopotamia? I forget.
Babylon was during the same time as Mesopotamia because
Okay, yeah, I knew there was
Alexander
like
was king
two
of
or
Babylon.
three. Yeah, there was like 2 or 3 major cities, and then we've been able to trace that back to one major city that took place before all that, and I forget what that one's freaking called. And then yeah, so you're saying like even predates that city. So we keep finding more and more human history. That's crazy.
And we're trying to figure out how the nomad lifestyle came about after these cities fell.
Oh yeah, okay, that's cool.
Because
That's such an nomadic lifestyle is such an like it actually makes a lot of sense. Because but like until you start learning agriculture, right? It makes a lot of sense to be like, hey, we used all the food here, so now we're gonna move with where there's more food.
But some of the cities some of the civilization sites that they found predate nomad, and nomads eventually developed into the civilization centers.
Okay, so you're saying that we've now discovered that instead of thinking we developed culture and civilization in a more linear fashion, there was actually a fall, essentially. Like we hit a point in tech and that all fell apart, and then we kind of reset back to nomad.
Yes.
Wow, okay, that's crazy.
Because they've dated it to about 10,000 years ago, and the earliest civilizations can be dated about 6,000 years ago, maybe 4. That's whenever like the big cities started coming up.
I like history. Hey, we should watch some more of this video. This awful
Pit
video.
bulls are a violent breed. Men are more logical than women. Or
hey, pit bulls are a violent breed. They are. Not all pit bulls are violent, but they are a violent breed.
No,
that is a factual statement.
So pit bulls used to be used as nursing dogs.
What?
Or nursery dogs.
They were what?
What
are you talking about?
Pit bulls used to be nurse dogs, like nursery dogs. They would take care of the babies. Like the people would have their pit bulls take care of their children and watch over them. And it wasn't until people started putting them into fights with one another and breeding them that way that they started to develop a more aggressive attitude.
Okay, right here. So I pulled this up. Right here, the history of pit bulls from Love a Bull, like love a bull, like love a bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
And it says right here that the pit bull can be traced back to the early 1800s in the United Kingdom. Pit bulls were originally bred from the Old English bulldogs, who gained their popularity on the British Isles in a cruel blood sport known as bull baiting. 1 to 2 bulldogs were set to harass a bull for hours until the animal collapsed from fatigue, injury, or both.
Okay. But they were also used as nursery dogs to take care of children once they came over to the United States. Because they were good with children.
Whenever that was outlawed, the public turned their attention to ratting, which is the practice of pitting dogs against rats, in which they are timed to see whose dog would kill the most rats in the least amount of time. The pit and pit bull comes from ratting, as the rats were placed into a pit so they could not escape. Ultimately, the public turned their eyes upon dog fighting and made it outlawed. So they were bred to fight. They were bred to be aggressive.
They were nanny dogs.
Bred to be aggressive. I just read it from the Pitbull Lovable website.
All right.
Checkmate, atheist.
All right.
Chances are, if a game is set in the real world, that the designers are avoiding these tropes because they aren't real, as multiple fields of societal and hard science can readily prove to you. But speculative fiction offers us an opportunity to reify or make real various things which don't exist, or to exaggerate things which do. Now,
That's true.
bioessentialism is a tempting idea in fantasy for some of the same reasons as it is in the real world. Because to our human minds, broad generalizations are comforting. They reduce the world to simple cut and dry categories. All orcs bad, all elves good, root for...
No.
What? No,
Elves
actually,
are not good.
Oh, okay, about that. No, I was going to say everything he said I agreed with on it's easier for us. Yeah, it's easier for us to simplify and just generalize. That's totally true. It's easier for our minds to just categorize things in broad terms and file it away like that. And it's usually based on our experience. If something happens, if I get beat up by a redhead, I now categorize redheads as violent, until proven wrong. Because it's just easy to broadly paint, just simplify things so you don't have to think about it too much. Because your brain doesn't really want to work. Everybody, we all know that. Our brain doesn't actually want to do extra work. We want to keep things cut and dry. Black and white. And that's where cognitive dissonance comes into effect. Is because you think one way, you think, oh, all redheads are violent. And then you meet a redhead who's not violent, and you immediately have cognitive dissonance because you're like, why is this person not trying to beat me up? The last redhead I met beat me up.
Yeah, and thing is, with the elves, there are drow, which are evil, but there's certain ones that aren't, such as Drist. Drist is a good drow.
I don't think that's true. I'll have to ask James. Because James has read all those books about Drist. He told me the entire story. We've been on many a long walks where he's recounted the tale of Drist to me.
Well, whenever he gets here, he can recount it again.
Yeah, I recall him doing good things. I don't remember him being a good guy. I thought he was a mercenary, essentially.
In the first few books he is, and then he starts to go on his own journey to find his sister, and he starts helping people of his own volition and becomes a good guy.
Okay.
But in other fantasies,
because I want to prove you wrong, atheist.
in other fantasies, elves eat people.
Yeah. No, absolutely. The whole notion of elves being good as a stereotype came about because of Tolkien.
Well, some are good. They're just pricks.
Yeah, sure. But like you said, elves used to eat people, and they also used to not basically the old fairy tales of elves would be what we call goblins nowadays. I think would be an easy way to say. I'm not saying that's exactly the case. because there was obviously also old stories of goblins. But the way that people stereotype goblins nowadays, whenever I say goblin, you think of a small little green creature that probably scurries around, and they hunt in packs, and they don't fight fair, and whatever other preconceived notions you have of what a goblin is from fairy tales that you've heard. That's basically what elves used to be too. Like, they weren't good guys. They're kind of like pixies and fairies, where they're pranksters.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Then there's also like
They're like
a lot
gremlins.
of other things. Yeah, gremlins.
They'll take apart they
trolls.
literally take apart the planes while you're flying them.
Also, in Tolkien's work, orcs and Uruk-hai are two different species. Uruk-hai are created from any dead body and corrupted, and are pretty much reanimated. And they look somewhat similar to orcs, but have their own way of doing things. And then
they're taller. First off, they're taller and they're beefier. They're way stronger than orcs. But yeah, orcs are twisted and
corrupted,
tortured elves. Yeah, corrupted elves.
So,
exactly.
And another thing is they will also, they'll kill themselves if they don't have anything to fight.
My avatar looks a lot like Fringy until you get close to it and see that it's not. It looks a lot like what Fringy looks like.
Hey.
Hi.
I'm ready! 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 I'm ready!
Go SpongeBob!
What up, guys?
It's finally here.
I told you 8 o'clock. I'm 3 minutes early. I actually should leave and then come back.
No.
Oh, you want to be back at 8? That's fine. Yeah. We're watching a really terrible video.
Well,
hey, by the way, is Driss evil?
Dritz? No, he's not evil.
Is he good?
He's technically neutral.
Okay.
He's like neutral good.
All right, Cyreks, you win that one.
Told you.
I'll give that. Yeah, I'll give that one to you. That's close enough.
Wait, what was the argument?
If Dritz was evil or not.
Yeah, I said he was a bad guy. Yeah, because he's a drow, so I said he was a bad guy. Because all drows are bad guys. They're terrible. I hate drows.
Whoa,
I'm racist towards drow.
Jarlaxle's pretty baller, though. And he's not bad either.
We can stop watching that terrible video.
No, wait, you don't want to show James just a couple minutes, like 30 seconds of it, just so he can be as frustrated as we are before we move on.
I like not being frustrated. I'm happy with not knowing.
If I got subjected to this, you have to get subjected to this. That's the rule.
I'm pretty sure that's up to Cyreks there.
Please, Cyreks, please.
Fine.
Just 10 seconds.
Yeah, fine. Whatever.
Oh,
it'll be enough, I'm sure.
Let me pull it back up here.
Yay.
Bad versus
okay, wait,
good.
we don't even have to start. Yeah, we don't even have to start yet. How do you feel about this?
Bad, good, yes. I'm assuming it's saying the good is the elf over there and the bad is the orc.
Yeah, hence the arrow.
Then, I feel fine with that. Most orcs are considered bad.
And most elves are good?
What if I...
But I wouldn't say most elves are good. I would say elves are also kind of neutral.
Okay, so he's wrong. Good. You're on the same page as he's wrong.
Wait, what? Was this person saying that the elves are just straight good?
Evil races are bad game design.
What?
That's the video. Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't have a group of people you fight against all be bad. They should have more nuance in every game ever.
We'll go 10 more seconds.
Yeah, let's just do 10 seconds and we can move on. Huh?
Is that what this person is saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Folks, not for these folks. But just like in the real world, bioessentialism can present problems in fiction as well, specifically a moral one. The idea that a sapient species can inherently tend towards good or evil acts, or lawful or chaotic ones. and that moral essentialism actually undercuts the greatest strength games can bring to storytelling: the player's own power to make meaningful, interesting
All right, yeah, I'm
choices
done.
and judgments.
No, he once again conflated that, like, he just, well, actually, he did even worse than earlier. He said that moral essentialism and bioessentialism are the same thing, basically, just now. Like, that's crazy. This dude's crazy.
Uh-huh.
It's not the guy that's talking, by the way. I just want to clarify. I'm not saying the guy talking is crazy. He's literally just reading a script that was written by that dude that they gave a thanks to earlier in the video.
Yeah.
The guy who wrote this script is crazy.
Well, no, the script is based off of an article the guy that was mentioned earlier made.
Oh, okay. So there's a lot of crazy people involved in this.
Yes.
Okay, good. Good stuff. And there's just 3 of us. And
So-
we're not crazy.
Now we get to move on to the main event. Sadly, nobody has shown up yet.
Oh, what? Yeah, no, there's plenty of people.
That's just me.
There's 3 of us.
That's fair.
Plenty of people.
So, I made this.
Oh, why does it say full screen and windowed?
Because
Holy crap, okay. Oh no. This is exciting.
uh-huh.
Okay, I'm loving all of this. I
Oh,
realize I muted
Oh
myself
my.
and have been talking this whole time.
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Holy crap, dude.
So, the categories are prequels, legendary legends, animated series, Ryan Johnson, Jedi texts, who are they and who said it?
Oh my goodness! Before we start,
Yeah.
can I put a random thing? This is how much I love you guys. All right, so I'm at a dinner, a really nice dinner with everybody and family, and I ate my food, like it showed up just in time for me to eat it. Put it in a to-go box, and then I looked at them and was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go to the car now." And they're like, "Okay."
Oh, dude, that's so sweet of you. That's very
But,
sweet of you.
But all right, we're ready.
So
Oh, yeah.
basically, Jam Sully, you were like this.
You'll be hurting my feelings.
You know, I was thinking about that. And the thing is, I really don't care.
I mean, yeah. Like if you want to put it in the broad scope of it, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I remember that episode, and he wasn't actually being a jerk. Because Blue was emotionally manipulating him.
Exactly.
That's all
So
Blue does, though.
yeah, right. That's very true. So I just that was a really good clip. I just feel like you're painting it. Not what's that guy's name? Crap. The red guy.
Oh no,
Will.
babe.
Yeah, you're painting him in a bad light with that out of context. It looks like he's actually being kind of mean, but he's not at all. Blue's being mean, and he's finally
but-
standing up for himself.
That's the point of clips, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
It
guess.
doesn't put them out of context.
Yeah. Okay. Fair
So-
enough. I'm sorry. I won't ruin your jokes anymore. No
So-
promises.
Do we like roll a dice to see who goes first? How are we doing this?
Oh
But
wait.
it's-
How? Yeah. No, Cyrek, you're. Hey, you should also make yourself bigger, unless that doesn't
I
work.
can't. I
Oh,
can't
okay.
with
Never mind.
sharing screen.
Okay. Fair enough.
But I do have this. Actually, let me change it to this one.
Hey.
Oh,
those boys
nice.
down there.
All
That way
right,
it doesn't
we
cover
can
up anything essential. So, first we will call heads or tails. James.
All right. I'm gonna stick with my go-to. We're doing tails.
Dang it! I wanted tails.
It is tails. Do you want to
Dang
go
it.
first or do you want to go second?
I definitely want to go first. I want to see what these questions are about. So let's hit Jedi Tech 600.
You know,
Jedi
I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, we should have played some like really big intro to get like all hyped up for this, and then I just remembered we did.
text.
Oh my god.
You went above and beyond, sir. You went above and beyond for this.
Yeah, you really did. I love it.
Between the frame, the thumbnail picture, an actual Jeopardy board. Do you actually get to like click on the things and it pops
Yeah,
up?
like
Oh
this?
my, yeah! Holy crap, that's so cool.
my
Okay,
God.
okay.
Alright,
Hey,
so-
what's the rule set?
Same set, except for the doubles. You have 3 options of doubles for daily double.
Oh,
You
there's
have-
3 daily doubles.
No. There's 2 daily doubles, but you have 3 options to choose from. You can either choose to double your score, bet your score, or double the daily. So, whatever
Like if it's on
score
the
you
400, you could be like, I want that to just be 800.
yes.
Okay, you'll have
Okay.
to remind me whenever that pops up again. But okay, so that's really the only difference. So we still what, a minute and a half to answer?
Yes.
Okay.
And let me pull up a timer real quick because
See, it's gonna be so much more professional than you guys just trusting me. Because it was all off camera, everything I did. This is nice.
This is why we need a
could you get-
computer. We could do all of this.
Oh yeah, that mythological computer. It's coming.
It'll eventually happen.
It's in the mail. So
You're mailing it to yours? Oh wait, yeah, you
All
know
right.
what? You have to.
Technically I am, yes, but
Yeah.
it's not actually in the mail.
Oh my goodness.
Are you gonna get like one of those like really fancy hourglasses?
I wish. So you have a minute and a half to answer.
Okay.
All right.
And
don't
the way
see
that
a
I'm doing
timer.
it, I can't show a timer on screen, but I have it with me right here.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's what I did. I thought you were gonna put it on screen. I was
Nope.
gonna be like, this is crazy, but there's not really any room left on screen.
Yeah, there's a lot happening right now.
No, there's,
Okay.
there's definitely not enough.
Sorry for interrupting. Now that I understand what is all happening, I will be silent.
So,
We know that's not true.
Jedi text for 600. There are how many volumes to the Iononomica? Iononomica.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to say that. Okay. So I got a minute and a half to figure out how many volumes there are to this thing. I'm gonna be honest. I'm assuming that's a series of texts, right? So like books, essentially in the archives, the Jedi archives.
Mhm.
So based off of the namesake, I would assume it's like kind of like. Actually, you know what? I don't even think I have an idea with the name. So let's go with there's 15.
And it's incorrect.
Okay, I didn't want you to give it
Austin.
away. So first, for anybody that is viewing this, no, we're not playing Jeopardy rules where we're given an answer and have to ask the question. We're actually just doing a quiz show. So
It
now
does
that
say Jeopardy.
yeah, I know. Now that I've taken time from my answering, I'm gonna say Cyreks. This is a simple one. There's 12.
That is incorrect. There are 2.
Oh
Dang.
my goodness.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that before.
I assumed Austin that you stole the first initial answer from my head.
Yes.
Because I was
Yes, I did.
initially just going to say 12.
I was actually going to start with 22, and I was like, yeah, it's probably 12. But it was actually just 2.
Yeah, just
Just
2.
2.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, James, it's still your board.
Austin, you know the rules.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be here for a while.
Prequels, 600.
Huh?
Oh, man.
Prequels 600?
Yep.
Who was the first actor to appear in front of the cameras when shooting Attack of the Clones? Not who appeared first in the movie, who was on set first.
Oh, the first actor to appear. Okay. You know what? Ian McDermott is very, very, very punctual from my understanding, and so is Ewan McGregor.
Uh-huh.
From my understanding, it'd have to be between those two. I'm gonna go with Ian McDermott.
And the correct answer is Ian McDermott.
Yeah.
Is that the Emperor?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was going to have that one too. Holy crap. All right, cool. At least I know in my head that I got this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Good job, Jam Sully.
Let's go. Thank you. The next one is who are they? 600, because I feel like this is a category I'm not gonna know anything in.
Sith Lord who goes to Exegol in search for immortality, Tharsangius, eventually became her servant.
Goes to X-Go for. Oh yeah, I definitely don't think I know this one. Because I know it's not Xana, however you actually say her name. Darth Bane's apprentice. She didn't go there for immortality. I don't know Sith Lord's name. Let's go with the chick that Darth Xana trained. What is her name? Darth. Oh, dude, yeah, I don't know her name. I haven't listened to the Bane books or read them in so long.
How do you know it's in the Bane books?
I don't think it's actually in the Bane books. I think it's later on, like afterwards. But I'm pretty sure I know the one that I'm thinking of shows up in the third book, and she becomes Xana's apprentice.
And what's her name that you're thinking?
I don't know how to say her name at all. Like I don't even have a beginning. Darth Kaliga. All right.
That's your final answer?
Yeah, that's a totally different reference, by the way.
And you're incorrect. Austin, who is...
First off, I want to say I think that was more than a minute and a half, but I could be wrong.
No, it was not.
Oh man, okay. My internal clock is broken. Who is Darth Talon?
The answer is incorrect. It was Darth Noctis.
Oh, okay. That was so obvious. I should have got that.
So my question for you is, I'm assuming I was nowhere right on the mark. Well, I know my name wasn't, but like even my explanation, right?
Yeah, no. Those are the two Sith Lords that are mentioned in The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh.
Like the book?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, perfect.
Did not know that at all.
These are great questions. It's almost right on line. James got one right, so it's not perfect. But it's close. So far it's better than mine.
Let's go with who said it
My
for
trivia.
600.
Who said it for 600?
Yep.
Here's where the fun begins.
Okay. Who said it for 600? Here's where the fun begins. Oh, Obi-Wan.
Incorrect. Austin.
Poe Dameron.
Incorrect.
What?
It was Han Solo.
Oh.
Oh man, yeah. Isn't that Return of the Jedi? Is that Return of the Jedi or is that Empire?
That was in A New Hope.
Oh, okay, yeah. Crap, I'm an idiot.
You're muted.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna go with Legendary Legends 600.
Legendary Legends for 600.
You sniping all the good ones.
What force phenomena allows particular force users to see the flaws in objects and even living beings?
Oh, particular force users. Force perception?
Incorrect.
Okay.
Austin?
It's a tough one, right?
Back in your brain there, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of this word that I want to use, but I don't even think it's right. But still, corporeal. I'm gonna say corporeal.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
It was Shatterpoints.
No, yeah, duh. Yeah, like, how Neji sees.
Oh. Isn't that
Yeah.
in the book Shatterpoint? That's something Mace Windu does.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, great. I've read that book and I don't remember
Yep,
that.
same
Cool.
here.
Awesome. I
Uh,
hate this. This is perfect. I'm so glad I hate
What?
this. I wanted to hate this.
what's the category that you want to choose?
Oh, we're totally gonna go with Ryan Johnson, 600.
Yeah, I'm excited about this category.
Rather than being impactful, the reveal of race parentage was what to Johnson?
But you don't want a camera. What are you doing?
That's my bad.
You're supposed to
I just
answer the
really wanted you
question.
I wanted you guys
Not
to see the
turn
back
the
of the
camera
windows. Do I have to give an exact quote?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's not that hard.
No, because I'm pretty sure his whole thought process was, it's not important. She's a nobody.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Austin.
I'm going to go with, rather than being impactful, the reveal of Rey's parents was supposed to be anticlimactic.
Hold on. Go to judges.
Is Okay, cool. So I'm close.
And the judges say no, that is not an acceptable answer.
Ooh, darn. Okay.
It was
Wait, what is it?
interesting.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. I was close. Interesting. Yes, of course.
So
it's definitely interesting.
anticlimactic could have worked. Just the
Yeah.
judges said no.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. It wasn't the right answer.
Yeah.
Oi.
So I'm
Thank you,
guessing you're gonna go for 600 on animated series.
Yes, I am.
What two Star Wars animated series aired alongside one another in 1985?
There was one in 1985.
Uh-huh. There was two in
Oh.
1985.
Oh yeah, I don't
The
know that
question
at all.
says so here.
Yeah. Let's go with the Clone Wars. They wanted to start it early. Let's do it.
Incorrect.
That's totally wrong.
Yeah.
Austin.
So if I get one of the two, can I have 300 points?
No, you had to get both.
Okay, well, it's Ewok Adventures. That's one of them. And then the other one was like droids, a droid's tale. No, that's the new one they're wanting to do. Because Ewok Adventures, I've seen both of them. I don't remember the name of the other though.
You've seen both of these?
Yeah, I rented them at Blockbuster whenever I
Oh
was a
my
kid.
god! Whoa, that was so long ago.
Yeah, it's hard to think that Blockbuster was so long ago now.
Yeah, I rented them at Blockbuster, and they had both. And it's one of them was the Ewok Adventures, and the other one was something droids.
How old are you, old man?
Yeah, older
Old enough.
than you think. Look at my long nose. I'm so old. I'm gonna have to leave it at that. Hopefully, droid something is good enough.
So Star Wars Ewoks and droids is what you're going with?
Well, Ewok Adventures I know for a fact, but then droid something.
And Star Wars droids and Ewoks. You are correct.
Oh, okay. So you just abridge the titles because those are not the titles.
That's what they show up as whenever searched.
Oh, cool. So I'll take it. I mean, I'll definitely take it. But it's definitely called Ewok Adventures. I'm just saying. It wasn't just called Ewoks. It's called Ewok Adventures.
What would you like to choose now, Austin?
Oh, yay. I have control of the board. Let's see how long this lasts. I want to do... let's stick in the prequels. Let's do prequels 500.
Prequels for 500.
All right.
The battle droid's spindly frame was modeled after skeleton warriors from what movie?
The battle droids, spindly frame. The skeleton warriors from what movie? Pirates of the Caribbean.
Incorrect.
Curse of the Black Pearl. Okay.
That came out long after Star Wars prequels came out.
That came out after Episode 1.
Yes, Episode 1 came out in '99.
Yeah, and then Black Pearl was like 2001 or 2002.
Yep.
Yeah, you're
All
right.
Oh,
My bad.
James.
can I go with the Mummy?
Ooh, that's a clever. That's a clever
If you
one.
go with that, and incorrect.
Oh,
It
What
was
is
Jason
the
and the
right answer?
Argonauts.
I don't even know what that is.
I've heard
It's
of
a
that.
good
I've never
movie. You
watched
should watch it.
Okay,
I've never watched that movie.
I'll put that on the list with the Atlas. You told me another thing I should watch. I have it written down here.
Oh, hey, I don't know if I actually asked. Is this a good mic? Are you guys hearing everything well?
I
It has
hear
a
well.
little echo, but it sounds better than your last mic.
Okay, cool.
All right,
Athens Parthenon, does that sound familiar to you, Cyreks?
Oh, over in Athens, Tennessee, the Parthenon.
Athens Parthenon. I was supposed to look into that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Technically,
that's
it's
not,
outside of Nashville, which Athens, Tennessee is outside of Nashville.
I mean,
yes,
yeah, but
it's actually close to me. That's right. It's really close to me. So I was supposed to go take a trip over there and see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what that note means.
Why haven't you told me? I've been in.
We're gonna
Athens
we're gonna
a
do it
lot.
together.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go do it together. We're gonna go look at it and film it. Film the trip, make a video out of it.
So
what was that? What was that last movie?
Jason and the
Argonauts.
And the
Argonauts.
Argonauts.
And the Argonauts.
Argonauts.
Okay, I'm gonna remember that one. All right, let's actually do animated series for 500.
What two characters in Rebels are shown to have a force connection similar to a dyad?
Jason and Jana.
In Rebels.
Incorrect.
In Rebels.
Dude, I've never watched Rebels. I know there's the blue-haired dude that's like Hispanic, and then there's like some chick that I don't even remember what she looks like, and then there's a clone trooper. That's all I know about Rebels. And people fly lightsabers like helicopters.
Yeah, they do, which is weird.
Yeah.
I don't think that's physically possible.
That's all I
Just
know
in
about Rebels.
Just in the Star Wars lore, I don't think that's possible.
No, it's canon, so it's possible.
They can also stop them on a tree somehow.
Oh, right. Yeah, you showed me that. Wait, did you show Jam Sully that?
I will have to find it to show him. I'll show him
Have
after
you
we're
seen-
done with this.
Yeah, Jam Sully, have you seen this? That there's a comic they've released where a dude is falling down a tree.
Oh no, it was a
and
chick.
Okay. A Jedi was falling down a tree and shoved his lightsaber into a tree, and it slowed him to a stop so that he
Wouldn't it
doesn't
just-
fall off the tree.
Cut through it like butter.
Oh, the whole way down until he dies. Yes, or she. Sorry, she dies.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't believe him, and he pulled up and showed me the panel, and I was like, "This is terrible."
Yeah, that makes
Yep,
no sense.
absolutely
So lightsabers to them are literally swords that
Yes.
glow.
Whoever it is that wrote that comic, yes, lightsabers are just glowing swords.
Yep, it's from the High Republic.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, so it's Chinese propaganda.
Okay, so what was this question? What two characters in Rebels are shown to have force connections similar to the dyad? Isn't one of them like Azur? Is his name Azula? I'm pretty sure it starts with an
Azula
AZ.
is definitely from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Hey, don't help him.
Well, like I know the character I'm thinking of his name is like I'm pretty sure it starts with an A. I could be entirely wrong. I haven't watched Rebels either.
I want bonus
And-
points. Host is being biased and giving hints.
I'm not giving hints. I'm just stating.
and his master, whatever his master's name is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know the name.
Plo
So
Koon.
Azula
Goku.
and Master.
Yeah, those are my answers.
I think those are solid answers, Jam Sully.
Thank you.
You are incorrect. It's Maul and Ezra.
Ezra. Oh
Oh,
my god. Ezra is still
oh,
the blue-haired dude, right? The kid.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Ezra
okay, I
and
was
Darth
thinking of
way.
Maul.
him.
No
I didn't know
way.
Darth Maul had them.
That's crazy. All right, that sounds interesting, actually.
Why do they have a
It's
connection
not.
as a dyad?
Oh,
That
cool. Good to
sounds
hear it.
terrible.
I'm glad to hear it's not interesting. All right, it sounds interesting. Like on paper, the concept is crazy.
Yeah, no,
Like
it's bad.
you just telling me that, I'm like, that sounds awesome. That sounds really great. You could do a lot with that. I guess they didn't.
They didn't.
I still have the board. Yay.
You do.
Where'd you like to go to?
Who said it for 500?
Who said it for 500? I dropped another score for this. It'll be worth it when I add that Wookiee's pelt to my collection.
Boba Fett.
Incorrect.
Dang it.
James?
I dropped another score for this. It'll be worth it. Okay, crap. Let's say, so there's a chick in one of the Star Wars movies that they went to go, that went and helped them do the C-3PO brain, translate the swords, right? Pretty sure she's an assassin. Let's call her Kylie.
Final answer?
Yeah, I don't know any of these new characters' names.
Incorrect. It is a legacy character. It's Bosk.
Really?
Oh, okay. Okay, I was about to ask.
This
with
is canon.
Yeah, I believe it. But I was about to ask. I didn't want to ask before James got it wrong. Is who said it? So who said it is not movie exclusive?
No. It's
So
comics. It's
Okay.
TV shows, but they're all within canon.
Okay, so it's common canon. It's new canon exclusive.
Yes.
Okay, heard. All right.
Okay.
Austin, you still control the board?
Legendary Legends 500.
Legendary Legends for 500.
And then I'm going to do Jedi Text.
What is considered to be the first book in Legends timeline?
Oh crap. The first book in Legends timeline, I don't remember the title of it, but I know it's about a Sith ship that at least it starts off where they crash land on a planet. And it's the only Sith Lord who's ever been immortal. No, wait, no, it'd be Bane. Darth Bane. I'm gonna go with Bane. Darth Bane. No, I take that back. No, the first in the timeline. I take that back too. Yeah, I know. I keep remembering there's even older stuff. Like it's newer books that take place further back. I keep remembering that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Knights of the Old Republic book. That's gonna be my final answer.
That is incorrect.
Dang it.
Because he didn't ask, I actually do want to ask. When we were talking about the Legends timeline, are we talking about the book specific timeline, or are we talking about the place in which the books came out?
The timeline itself, not the order that the books came out.
Okay, there's a book called like Star Wars Legacy, and it's like where before anyone had the Force. Well, they had the Force, they just didn't know what it was called, and there was no temples or anything like that. A brother and sister fight each other, and from my understanding, she basically becomes the first true Jedi. Her brother becomes kind of a Sith Lord, but he doesn't have the Force. It's really weird. But I'm pretty sure it's Legacy. It's the name of that book.
Jedi Legacy?
Yeah.
You have the premise correct, but sadly the title is incorrect. It is Dawn of the Jedi, Into the Void.
Into the Void. Oh my god, yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
I've read that book and I could have sworn it was the Legacy, but I guess it's not. Dang it.
Austin, you
Oh,
still
man.
control the board.
I was nervous there, dude. I was really nervous. Jam Sully was talking like he really knew what he was talking about.
He
I was
had
like,
the
oh,
premise
no.
down. He had
I
the
know what
premise
I'm
down.
talking about. I just didn't know the title.
Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna do Jedi Text for 500.
Jedi Text for 500. The Iononomica was assembled by what Jedi Master?
Okay.
That is no, hold on.
Yeah, what happened here?
Kit. It's Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto.
Incorrect. James?
Okay. I thought you were going to say Scytho Diaz.
That was my original thought.
Could it be really weird and just say Qui-Gon Jinn?
That is incorrect. It is Riley
Oh.
Howell.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Shot
The
in the
most
dark.
famous Jedi ever.
Right. So far, we've both gotten one question correct. Holy crap.
Yeah, at least it's like we haven't done a thing because we're still
Right.
tied.
All right, well, let's see.
Let's do Ryan Johnson for 500.
Ryan Johnson for 500. Daily double.
Oh!
It's
Oh!
a daily.
Do you want to double the 500? Do you want to double your score, or do you want to bet your score?
Wait. What's the difference between doubling my score and betting my score?
Well,
So
betting your
if
score,
you-
I'm assuming.
You
Go
get
ahead,
to
sorry.
choose how much of your score you want to bet, and that doubles. Where if you double your score, you're betting your entire score,
Oh,
and
so
that
it's
can
all-
reduce you
all
down
in.
to 0.
Okay, so there's really only two ones, right? Is I can double the 500 to 1,000, or
Uh-huh.
I can bet however much of my score I want
Or
up to an all in. Okay.
Yes.
If I double the question, do I not lose points if I get it wrong?
Not in this instance, no.
Then I will double the score because I do not want to lose points.
All right. When asked about Johnson's entry into Star Wars, Darth Maul voice actor Sam Witwer said, "Last Jedi to me felt like a movie made by a guy who blank."
First off, Sam Witwer is an amazing person. He's a great
Yes, he
human
is.
being.
Fantastic.
When asked about Johnson's entry into Star I'm going to go with who hates Star Wars. Final answer.
Yeah, because it seems like, if I remember right, Sam Witwer was a huge fan of Star Wars. Like a
Yeah.
huge fan.
Judges say we cannot take that answer.
Dang it.
James.
All right. No, wait, he gets a steal?
Oh wait,
Wait.
no, you're
I was
right.
like,
He
do I get to
doesn't.
steal on a daily double? Holy crap! I'll do
No,
it.
no. Sam Witwer said, "The Last Jedi to me felt like a movie made by a guy who hadn't quite done his homework."
Yeah, fair enough.
See,
I actually-
if I would have been
now-
able to steal,
now that
my
you read
answer
that
was
out, I
like,
remember.
doesn't understand Star Wars.
Yeah, I think you would have. I think the judges would have been in your favor on that one versus just hate it.
They,
Um,
the judges really don't like going off. Apparently.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it has to be all or nothing.
No, it is what it is. Hey, so do we want to take a break after that daily double? Watch that little Lord of the Rings video real quick,
We can.
and then we'll come back
We
to this.
definitely can.
All right. Well, you set that up. So I have one particular story which happened the other day, right? Literally while I was on the phone with you, Austin. So I went to Taco Bell to get some food. You know, pretty hungry at this moment in time.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I start hearing yelling while I'm on the phone with you, and I don't know if you remember my reaction, which was basically just like, "What is happening right now?" Because behind me, I just start hearing this person screaming profanity. And then I was like, what? So I turn around and look, and there's these two people getting out of their car, about to basically have a fist fight in Taco Bell drive.
What?
Just yelling at each other about the fact that I don't know what was happening. I really don't. I didn't eavesdrop that much, but it was still one of those like, what in the world are they doing? And then they get back in the car after screaming. They didn't come to blows. It was a male and a female, so I assume the guy realized that he should not hit a woman in the middle of public. Well, let me phrase that. He should not hit a woman in general, but specifically not in public.
But hold on, you're telling me that were they in two separate cars?
Two separate vehicles.
And they got out of their cars in the middle of a
Yes.
drive-through to yell at each
Yes.
other.
to yell at each other. And then they proceed to
Wow.
get back in their cars and continue yelling. And I hear him say, "Wow, what a great way to be a good mom." And she was like, "Shut up," calls him some inappropriate words. And then he proceeds to like, "Yeah, F you," and I think that's all I start hearing as I'm pulling up to the speaker to order my food.
Wow. I halfway expected you to say they got back in their cars and then rammed them into each other.
Oh my god, that would have been beautiful.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
Women.
It sounds like the guy was even crazier though.
Oh my god. Still though, it just didn't make any freaking sense. I
How-
freaking love it.
Yeah, that's wacky.
Like, I'm questioning what provoked it.
Yeah.
Dude, again, I don't know. I was literally on the phone with Austin, just talking, and the next thing I hear is screaming, just like profanity, and just as loud as they could, just screaming at each other. And they were 2 cars apart, so like there was an unfortunate person in between
Wait.
them.
Oh wow. Okay, no, that just added a whole new level. So because like I was like, okay, there's probably some reasonable explanations for why they got heated if they're right back to back. But no, there was a third party separating the cars.
Yes.
Holy
Mhm.
crap! How?
Like,
What?
again,
What?
Don't know. Like I pulled in, started getting ready to order because I was like 1 car away from the thing, and then boom, they're just yelling, and I'm like, oh man, what's going on back there? Turn around, and there's a car in between them as they get out of their cars and walk up to each other, screaming in each other's face.
That makes
all
no
right.
freaking sense.
You know, that reminds me of a time I was at Taco Bell, and I ordered some food, and I was just finished ordering. I was waiting for it to come out, and the guy in front of me got his order, and he was we were both inside, and he walks out, and I'm just a couple minutes late, like not a couple minutes, but some time goes by, and then I look out the window just because I'm waiting, and just seeing what's going on out in the real world, instead of just inside the box store. And I see the guy in his car put the car in reverse and then back up the longest, most wide backing out of a parking space turn ever and rear end another car across the parking lot. And like halfway through him backing up, I'm like, that guy's gonna hit that car, and then he just does. And I'm like, what the crap? And I knew whose car it was. It's actually a mutual friend of ours whose name starts with an N. And it's a female, and she was there, and I think it was actually her rental car. Like her last car had something happened to it, and so she was in a rental car. And then I literally watched this guy back into the rental car, and I'm like, "Hey, that guy just hit your car," and she freaks out, and they go out there.
She lost it.
Yeah, thankfully,
talking about.
Yes, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're thinking of who I'm talking about. Thankfully, the dude was polite enough to not like try and drive away or anything. He actually like parked his car back at the spot that he came from, and then came inside and was like, I just hit this car." I'm like, yeah, wow, what a loser. Like, how do you
high or drunk or like...
No,
All the
it's
above.
an easy explanation. He was old.
Oh, yep, that's it right there.
It's the same as being drunk or high while driving.
See, I have a belief that after you reach a certain age, you should just get free taxi services.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Basically, like, yeah, we'll revoke your license, but you have an unlimited free taxi service.
Yeah, because you still have to do stuff. We get it. You're still a living person, so you just shouldn't
Someone
be
else is driving you from now on, though.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
We need.
That is a great idea. In Europe, I think they have a bus pass when you hit like 75 or something like that, 65, 75. So you get free public transport.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
We don't have a lot of buses around, so for us, it doesn't work that way. But
we do, though. We do have buses. We have like 3 or 4. You just probably don't notice them.
Think about how
they're
far
really
away
small.
Some people live. Like,
Going to the getting to the location of the bus stations is really wacky. It's in some
exactly.
we have no dedicated like bus pickups where there's like a little archway and like a turn-in lane that the bus can pull off the street. Like I don't even think we have actual signs where the bus stops are. You have to actually just know where the bus stops are.
I mean,
See,
well, for us, we don't, but
we have actual designated bus stops.
You live in a
say,
much
some
bigger
cities-
city.
Yeah, some cities very much
Barely.
have that.
No, your city is at least twice, if not 3 times as large as
But
where
thing
I
is,
live.
I live on the outskirts.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, yeah, no, fair enough. Shoot, I still have
Okay,
one more story, but I want to tell
oh.
it after we get to our next daily double.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, sounds good.
So we get to watch this video.
Yeah,
now, we will all definitely agree with this video. I just wanted James to get his opinion on it.
what is that? What is the title called? The
The desecration.
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 Tolkien.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be interesting.
This is a map of Endor, also known as Inaroth. You may know it by its common name, Middle-earth. This map is unique in that it includes Beleriand, Numenor, and Eriador, the last one you would have seen in Lord of the Rings. I found this online and added in a distance chart to give you an idea of the scale. This is a general estimate based on the available maps, so other Tolkien fans, let me know if you think this is wildly off. Based on the chart, Numenor is roughly 300 miles away from the Cape of Andros, the closest point to the continent. That's about the same distance as Chicago to Cleveland. To give you an idea of how wide that distance is on the map, it's the same distance as the farthest tip of Beleriand, which is Vinyamar, to Eret
I think I've
Luin,
seen this
the
video.
mountains. That's the same
Have you?
distance as Hobbiton to Gondor. In case you're wondering,
I think
Hobbiton is
so.
about 450 miles away from Mordor, which is about the same distance as
Hold on,
Numenor
pause
from
it.
Harad, which is
Are we getting into the explanation for why there shouldn't be multicultural actors? Is that the argument
in
that's about to
Numenor?
get made? Yeah.
In Numenor? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because
Okay.
of the distance from. Because
Rune.
keeping in mind that there's no air travel, there's no trains, there's no there's
It's
no
just boats and
cars.
horses.
Yeah, so to think the distance between the east and this,
The Easterlings.
that's why there wouldn't be Asians and any other cultures, because this is basically England and the old England,
Yeah.
essentially.
Sort of. It's a mixture of England and Europe.
Yeah, I think I've actually seen this video. He makes a good argument because of this whole distance thing that he's setting up.
Thing is, his distance is a little off because he's about to say how far Numenor is from Rohan, or excuse me, from Numenor to Rune. He's off by about 1,000 miles. It's about 2,000 to 2,400 miles apart.
That's a huge difference. But this travel argument is very logical based on olden days. Generally speaking, statistically speaking, it is unlikely any family ever traveled further than 19 miles from their home. Like, that's just super uncommon. And even 19 miles is like stretching it.
Unless you're talking about the Quest of the Ring and the Fellowship's travels.
Well, no, I'm saying in real life. If you were taking this time period that it's trying to depict in fantasy, in the real world, it was uncommon for anyone to travel more than 19 miles from their home.
I mean, well, you could even just break it down from where we live, Tennessee, like from Cleveland, Chattanooga areas, and like when you go way back Civil War era, like people weren't really willing to travel that far unless it was like a massive event. And like that's not that far of a distance, like when we're driving it, but like
no, it only takes a half hour to
huge.
drive, but it would have taken a few days, maybe weeks.
Like, it's a pretty decent travel, especially if you're bringing family or if you have more than 3 people with you, really.
Yeah, because then think about how much you have to pack and how many horses you have to get, and then all the wagon space and all of that.
You gotta stop and hunt. You gotta prepare. You gotta stop earlier in the day because it's like, all right, it's getting really.
We have to set up a camp.
We need to set up a camp. We need to get prepared for it.
Exactly, but the thing is, what I've found is a problem with the modern era is a lot of people look at these kind of things that are supposed to be historic or medieval, and they look back at it and they're using their modern lens to decipher it, and so it's incoherent to them. Because if you say, 19 miles is the first thing, it's like, well, that's ridiculous, because like you can go 19 miles in a couple minutes. You know, like if we're going 75 down the interstate, 19 miles is nothing. Be there in no time. What? It's like, yeah, we're talking about a time period where it's like, if you're traveling 10, 15 miles an hour, that's crazy fast.
And the movies definitely don't depict the travels of the Fellowship or Bilbo's quest all that well. Because Bilbo's quest takes, 15, 20 years to do? And the Fellowship is out for, I think, 10?
Well, I know Bilbo's quest definitely was long enough that they all thought he was dead.
Well, technically, it does tell you at the end of the Hobbit. He's only been gone for like a year and a couple, because he only goes to the Blue Mountains.
But I was gonna say that travel is not very far versus the Fellowship, where they're traveling halfway across the world, essentially.
Well, their travel also is a very short time period. The reason we have such a long gap is because you got to remember there's 9 years before they even leave the Shire after Frodo finds out about everything.
I thought it was more than 9 years.
Well, we know. Okay, well, 9 years after Frodo finds out everything. Before then, it's like 5 6 years.
Okay, you're saying 9 years from the time that Gandalf comes back and says, "This is a ring, and we should make a plan for you to leave to Rivendell." Yeah, okay,
like 9 years.
Yeah, that
before he
makes
actually
sense.
takes off.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with that. But just like the travel time, if you think about how far they went, and I agree with you, Cyreks, the movies don't quite depict it well, but I think they do really good for what a movie is because of the sweeping landscape montages where it just shows you all this open land that they're walking across, which conveys slightly, it's like, look how far they have to go. But because it's a movie, it's like, it's only a minute.
Well, that also is if you understand that they're walking, which that's primarily all they do in Lord of the Rings. It's like, okay,
yeah, they don't really get horses until the second movie.
Yeah, and the huge distance of land that we see them walking is insane.
So it starts in 3018 of the Third Age, and then the Council of Elrond happens at the end of the year in October.
Yeah.
The Fellowship leaves Riverdale.
Wait, so it takes them a year to get to Rivendell?
Yeah.
Or not a whole year?
No. It's from they leave.
They leave in autumn.
So they leave and
if I'm not mistaken, when they leave Rivendell, they leave during winter.
I mean I guess I'm not 100%. All I know is like right now I'm at chapter 7 of the Lord of the Rings on my reread of it, and by the time they get to Tom Bombadil, so they haven't even actually like they haven't even gotten like they've technically left the Shire, but they're literally right outside of the Shire, and it's the last day of autumn because Tom Bombadil's annual festival of going to collect the lilies is the last day of autumn before the beginning of winter.
Do they is Tom Bombadil technically out of the Shire? Because
no,
Mary, if you remember,
technically
does say that. But Mary says that forest is a forest that his family used to travel a lot, and even Frodo and him at one point have gone in there.
They've been in the forest, and so not at night. Not at night though.
But like my question is that technically out of the Shire? Because they don't leave the Shire often.
Yeah, fair enough, but I'm just saying Brandybuck is on the edge of the Shire, so the Old Wood, I guess you could consider it's the last natural barrier of the Shire.
Yes,
so so it's hard to say, is the Shire including the Old Forest, or is the Old Forest the actual dividing line? Yeah, it could just be a neutral territory. I don't think anybody else claims it.
I have it. So September 23rd, Fatty and Mary leave in the morning. Frodo, Sam, and Pippin leave in the evening.
Yep.
They reunite at Crick Hollow 2 days later.
Yep.
And then September 26th, Old Man Willow.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, Crick Hollow is the name of the settlement in Brandybuck.
Yes.
It's like their guest home that they had for family, like distant families that would come and visit.
Yeah, and Frodo's distant family. Yeah,
Well, no,
yeah, yeah.
Frodo straight
That's
up
right.
bought
I
it from
forgot. He sold back in to buy Crick Hollow to move into Brandybug,
Yep,
allegedly.
allegedly.
So with that, they spend 3 days, or excuse me, 2 days at Bombadil's place, and
Yep, that's
they're
right.
captured by Darrowright and rescued
Yep.
by Bombadil. They
Mhm.
enliven Bree at the same time that Aragorn does,
Yep.
known as Strider during the time.
Yep.
They leave in
which
the
is kind of
morning.
interesting that when we get Aragorn's story about him seeing them on the
Isn't
road, I
that-
totally forgot that he did that. I was like, oh right, he kind of because you remember there's a line in the book where it says that a shadow crawled over the wall, and every time
that's
I've read that,
that's Strider.
yeah, every time I've read that line,
Oh.
I always assumed it was a ring wraith. Because we know one of them does enter, but it's technically Aragorn because he does.
I can't
tell
wait
us
to
that
get
story.
there. Yeah, I'm not there again. I've read all of Lord of the Rings once, and I'm rereading it now. And yeah, isn't all
continue.
this? Isn't the information you're pulling up from the appendix? Because it's like from Gandalf's travels, Aragorn's travels. None of that was actually in the book, but it's in the appendix
Yes.
where he lays out the timeline.
Yeah.
For everybody, which I think is great, right? As an author, that he wrote the whole thing, and he's like, okay, now that the
Here's the
story's
timeline
over,
of
if you
events.
want to know, if you want to know the timeline of events, I'm not going to rewrite the story. I'm just going to tell you the tale of why it lined up the way it did. I'm like, that's great, freaking great.
I mean, but it honestly makes sense to do that, like, without rewriting the story, because, like, as a reader, you're like, how did all these people accumulate to a certain location at certain points in time?
Yeah.
Like, how did they do this?
And then on that note, isn't essentially the appendix was written because of all of his frequently asked questions that he got in the mail?
Oh, I'm sure.
Isn't that basically where it came from? Was it's like, yeah, let me answer these questions, because like people present him with questions, and he's like, yeah, you're right, let's answer that. I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to write it so that it fits. Because he's the only author I know of that instead of, when asked questions in an interview or receives letters, instead of saying, since I'm the author, this is fact, he just looks at the text and says, well, when I read it, here's what I get from it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, correct
Here's
me
your
if I'm
answer.
wrong, either one of you, but if I'm not mistaken, Tolkien actually didn't really like answering a lot of the questions because he'd rather it be left to the imagination.
Yep.
Yeah, there
were certain things he answered only because he was like, I realize you can't get this through your imagination. Like,
I would
certain
say
things he totally answered because of that. But like, for the most
I
part,
would say,
it seems
from
like he
my
just
understanding, from my understanding, he answered more questions than he didn't. But there were a few that he said, I refuse to answer.
Yeah. There were a few of those.
And when it comes to that, as being the author, it's not that he couldn't answer them. It's just that I'm not going to answer them because I think that ruins it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm saying, like,
no, I
I'm
know.
pretty
Of
sure
course, he's the
like,
author. He's the god of the world. He could literally say whatever he wants, and it's fact. Except Death of the Author, right? Death of the Author says no, you can't.
Based off of his answers, he kind of believed in Death of the Author. Like, if you have actual lore questions,
absolutely,
he was just like,
Tolkien is the epitome of Death of the Author. As the author, when answering questions, he always just cited the text instead of saying, here's the answer. He was like, well, based on this line and that line of these chapters, I would think that means this. Yeah, sorry, we're derailing.
Yes,
but so they meet up and have the Council of Elrond on October 25th. They leave Rivendell at dawn on December 25th of 3018.
Gosh, I forgot they spent that long. I thought they only spent 2 or 3 weeks, but that's over a month.
That's 2 months.
Yeah, but think about the council meeting. Wasn't that 2 to 3 days? Like, they actually took a break.
Yeah. No, they did. Yeah, they took. They also had a week-long festival. Like, not festival, but the feast. They had a week-long feast at least. Yeah,
and then Gollum starts pursuing them on January 13th once they reach the gates of Moria.
Yep.
Oh man.
And then Gandalf falls 2 days later, so they spend 2 days in Moria.
Yep, that sounds right.
Which is crazy to think it only took them like 2.5 days to leave Moria, like to travel all through that. Which, I mean, if you really think about it, that's a lot of time. But still, nonetheless,
I think it's because they were traveling at a. No, I don't think that it's smaller than you think. I think they were traveling at a brisk pace.
Well, also Gandalf was going.
It was like, let's just get through. Yeah, we're just leaving. We're cutting through the mountain. This is not a sightseeing tour. We're literally like, let's just move. We gotta go. We gotta get out of Moria.
Oh, but imagine if dwarves had been in there. dude, they would have been in there for days.
Yeah,
Like, way longer than they
dude.
were.
Yes. If there was actually dwarves there, I wouldn't be shocked if they spent over a week there.
Seriously, it'd been crazy.
So then we get to. So I'm going to skip over a few things. They spend most of 3019 in the expedition to fight.
Yep.
And then in November 3rd, 3019, the Battle of Bywater happens. Grima kills Saruman, and the War of the Ring ends on the same day.
Okay, so when did the trip start? 30 what?
3018.
3018. So it's a full year before they go. They go there, come back and fight Grima. Fight.
And then
Sauron
and
all
then
them.
2 years later, September 29th, 3021, Frodo, Bilbo, and the three keepers leave Middle-earth.
Wait,
Okay.
what was the year? Sorry, what was the year?
3021.
Yeah.
3021. So it's about 2 years beginning to end?
For the Lord of the
3
Rings.
years?
So it was 1 year for Lord of the Rings.
Well, I thought you said they left in 318.
They left in 3018.
3018, came back and fought the War of the Battle of Hobbit, Bywater, in 3019, and then they stayed in the Shire for an additional 2 years.
Okay, so I get what you're saying now.
The Grey Havens.
Okay, so the actual defeating Sauron, that was only a year.
Defeating
they
Sauron
defeated
and
Saruman.
fighting. Yeah, so like going and dropping the ring off and coming back and fighting Saruman is all in a year.
Okay, yeah. That's crazy. That seems way faster.
Well, like the guy showed us the distance on the map. So if they were consistently
Time was of
moving,
the essence.
Yeah, if they were consistently moving pretty fast, and then we do know that they flew eagles for a short period, not all the way back to Hobbiton. Like on the return journey, they did fly with the eagles a little bit. They even stopped at Rivendell, and then they go back home. So like,
yeah, I mean, if you're taking
eagles
the
into
road,
account, yeah, well, I'm saying if we take eagles into account, their trip back is way quicker than their trip there.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, and they're not being pursued by enemies.
Exactly.
So
like,
that's helpful.
They had less to worry about. Which, I mean, is that helpful though? If you think about it, wouldn't that mean their trip should be more leisurely and probably take longer?
Well, no, because I was saying they took the main road instead of having to go all these like, hey, let's avoid the main way there the whole time.
And you got to remember
to Mordor.
You got to remember when Saruman actually visits the Shire.
Yep.
On Bilbo's 129th birthday, where they are all celebrating. And then he's killed September to November, 2 months later, by Grima.
What did he call himself? I want to say Shady, Shifty. Some weird name he called himself.
It was something weird. I don't remember.
Snarky. Or Sharky. Sharky. That's what it was.
What?
Yeah.
It's a really weird name that he calls himself.
Wait, who calls himself?
Sharky. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, the hobbits technically call him that, but I'm pretty sure it's Sharky.
Because Saruman doesn't really become a big factor in the books until he gets into the Shire.
Yeah, because seriously, it seems like, he has a little tough with Gandalf, but that's whatever. And then we see him in the two towers, and we know that he really didn't do anything. He just watched this place burn, and then Gandalf broke his staff. It was like the times we see him is very little, him doing very little.
Yeah, exactly. Until he does get to the Shire and take it over. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, that was a fun little aside. Let us continue.
About 480 miles, basically Chicago to Memphis. The full length of Endor from Vinyamar to Rune, the east, is about 1,150 miles, or Chicago to Boca Raton. That's also the same distance as Numenor to Rune. So I ask you, if you lived in the east, in Rune, and all you had were your legs or horses, how in the blue hell would anyone who looks like you end up in Numenor? You'd have had to have crossed nearly 1,200 miles up, over, and around 2 different mountain ranges and build a ship when you got there. And that's in the middle of Morgoth waging holy hell on the elves,
Right.
men, and dwarves.
Yep.
And that's
Yeah.
assuming you didn't get
Yeah.
the squinty-eyed ass shanked by the Haradrim. Because you know niggas just love beating up Asians.
That was a good. Oh, it's this guy. Yeah, dude, this guy's great. He makes really good content. Yeah, I'm not this guy, just some guy. That's what I meant.
So it begins. Amazon's woke ruination of Middle-earth is coming, and of course, everybody wants a piece. They're already trying to turn it into discount Game of Thrones, which will be an achievement since Game of Thrones already did that to itself.
Yeah, did you hear about that?
What?
They're
Yeah,
adding
I
sex
did.
and nudity into the new Lord of the Rings series.
Why? That's unnecessary.
Totally, and it's also totally against Tolkien's whole like philosophy for the story. Like it goes against the whole message. It's unnecessary. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
entirely unnecessary. Like it's just a fantasy world. We don't need any of that. Not in
and that's
his world,
why.
at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
That's why
'cause
he
his
didn't
world-
have any of that because it's not
It's-
needed.
It's like Will Smith, rapping versus the new rappers, where new rappers cuss all the time, and Will Smith's like, he came out with a song, or didn't come out with a song, but he joined Joyner Lucas in a song recently where he was like, I didn't even need to cuss, and he's in that song, he still doesn't even cuss.
Good man.
Like, and
Because you
it's
don't
like-
need to.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying with the like to correlate fantasy world. Like fantasy worlds used to just be sold on their beauty, the like way that the author wrote it, and it's like now new fantasies like let's have sex and this and nudity and that. It's like
Mhm.
why? It's like if your story can't stand on its own without some sort of sexual appeasement, that's stupid.
I think it really comes down to the same thing. If with sexualization and with profanity, like in rap and then within storytelling, it should be very intentional because it's adding.
It should build towards the story. It should not just be.
If it's there and it's not actually adding to anything, it's pointless. Cut it.
Yeah, because like, okay, I'll give Game of Thrones one thing. There was a sex scene between two of the main characters in the like first book, and that scene actually added to the story because of what
Was
took
that
place because of another character being there.
Was that the incest scene?
Yes. And
That
like,
that's the only scene I would say in Game of Thrones that actually makes sense for that being part of the plot.
That's
because there's a
literally what I'm
lot
saying.
going on right there. Yeah.
That's literally what I'm saying. It's like because it made sense because of a third party being involved and it affected that third party. And it's like, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, but it also tells us a lot about those two characters. Other than that, I don't think there was anything in Game of Thrones that should have been like all the other stuff could have been cut.
Yeah, there's a lot of sex scenes that are just unnecessary. For some reason, they're just having conversations in the brothel, and it's like, okay, they can have conversations in the brothel, but I'm sure as the brothel manager, you have your own room, right? Like,
yep,
yeah,
you're
you
not
would,
just
wouldn't
in the
you?
middle. You're not just standing there in the middle with someone else having.
I'm standing in the middle of an orgy, having a casual conversation about politics.
Remember, there was a big spoof on Game of Thrones in South Park where every time somebody was going to backstab another person, they took them through the walk in the garden.
Yep.
Because it happens so often.
So freaking often. It's like, oh god. All right, let's continue, I guess, because I could totally rag Game of Thrones for a hot minute.
But this most recent wokeness didn't come from Amazon or the cast. No, it just came from some rando actor named Ludi Lin. You may know him for playing Liu Kang in the recent Mortal Kombat film, and a race swap Zack in the Power Rangers remake, which explains this dumbass comment. Quote, it's going to be difficult to justify building a huge world without any characters that look Asian. Turn that imagine. That's in the original tweet. I didn't say that, it's in the original tweet. Turn that imagine on us at JSalt. It's not hard, we're right here. If by right here you mean nearly 1,200 miles away,
we're right here.
Continent away. There's
We're
no
right
reason
here.
any Asian people would be in Numenor.
Yeah.
This goes to what I was saying earlier, that this is the case, this is the situation I was talking about. So this is a modern person taking a modern lens, looking at history, being like, look, I mean, we have flight. It's so easy for us to hop a flight and get across the world in like 12 hours.
Also, like, they didn't clearly, though, even if they looked at it from the lens of, like, right now. They didn't look at it the lens of the fact that it's a war-torn location. Like just to travel, especially the time period that he knows nothing about Lord of the Rings. Apparently, it's like the time period that your characters are placed in. Nothing is happening with them. One, and the stuff that is happening with them, you could actually just pan over to that area because we do know that the Easterlings, at least during the Silmarillion time and stuff like that, were going through wars. We do know that the Blue Wizards actually went over to that area as well and helped stop Morgoth's armies, like by
Yeah.
causing dissent and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So like, if they really were like, well, we want to be a part of it, it's like, well, you can't be in Numenor. I'm sorry, that's just not possible. But
Oh yeah, but
if,
you could definitely. I get what you're saying. You could tell a simultaneous story about all the
Exactly.
goings on.
yeah, and it's like if that's really what you want, but it's like apparently that's not what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to tell the story of Numenor. So unfortunately, bro, your race is not in there. Just like black people aren't in there. They're kind of towards near the Easterlings as well.
Yeah. Well, they're up here in Erebor.
Oh yeah, they are. Which is still a travel.
Mm-hmm.
Which we see Mirkwood in Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
but we never really go to Erebor.
Isn't Mirkwood where Lothlorien is?
No, those
no.
are different places.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
Mirkwood,
My bad.
Mirkwood and Erebor, which is the Lonely Mountain, where the Lonely Mountain is, we see this in The Hobbit as
Yep.
well, because this is where Smaug is. Erebor has a huge mixture of people in it. Over here, and even in Numenor, because Numenor is a branch from Rohan, because the people of Rohan and Gondor had a feud, and the people in the lineage for taking over Gondor left because they lost the war and went to Numenor and set up a new spot. Rune would have had to go through the battling Rohan and Gondor and the battling Mordor.
Yeah, I'll say on top of fighting all of Sauron's troops, because this is during the Second Age is when they're talking about starting this one.
Yeah, this is the first rise of Sauron.
Yeah, so they would have had to gone through all of that too. It's like no.
So this is whenever the 7 kings of the humans were at war with one another and becoming ring wraiths.
Where is crap. Tom Bombadil's, where's the Hobbiton and all that? Because there's a kingdom, Arnor.
Here.
Yeah, okay. Because that's where the Witch King is from.
Yeah, he's from Arnor's over here in near the mountain range.
Yep. Which when the hobbits cross over into where what's his face is, Tom, they hit like a part of where some of the kings that were there become crap. They're not wraiths, but they're essentially wraiths.
I know what you're talking about, where Frodo starts to see them. He sees the ghosts of them, and they stab him.
No. When he gets
that's Weathertop.
When he gets the gold ring, and like they get the swords and all that stuff. Tom Bombadil has to save him. We talked about it earlier.
Oh yeah. Right.
The Bear Whites
left.
Yes, the Bear Whites.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are because they at least Tom Bombadil says something about them being part of the kingdom of Arnor. Now whether
they're the ghosts of the lineage of Arnor.
Yeah, which were they were apparently Arnor had like a ton of bad kings, which is crazy.
They did. A lot of them were evil.
Yep, minus like 1 or 2 that were from the start, which were part of Isildur's lineage.
Yeah, but we should continue on Jeopardy. We can bring this back up after the second Daily Double.
I agree.
So,
welcome back to Jeopardy. Sorry about that random moment of Star or Lord of the Rings knowledge.
That was fun though. I like that video. I can't wait to watch more of it.
I think because of this, Since you both have done a Jeopardy style game thing, I want to do one for Lord of the Rings just to see you guys' knowledge.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm all about trivia that everyone loses at.
Yes. But
All right, cool.
I'll have you know, I know a YouTube channel that I can get all the information I need.
Is it the Token Professor?
No, it's a completely different one.
Oh man, the Token Professor is pretty amazing.
But Austin is still your board.
Well, I'm gonna take that last 500-point question there.
All right, who are
What
they
is that?
for 500?
Yeah, who are they?
Vert Jedi Master, who participates in the Battle of Geonosis and is killed by Jango Fett while attempting to kill Count Dooku.
Is
What's the
Verk
question?
is Verk a species?
Yes, Verk is a
Oh.
species.
Cool.
Okay, so the question is, who is this Jedi Master?
Uh-huh.
That is Treaphon.
Incorrect.
That is Pai Vondo.
That is also
Ooh,
incorrect.
that was
It
a
is
much better
Coleman
answer.
Trebor.
Of course. Yeah, Coleman. Love
I know who
him.
Coleman is. Perfect guy.
He was so essential that one time.
He did that one thing. It was
You remember when he did that thing in that famous
Yeah.
movie that we all love?
Dude, it was like he was baller. All right, you're
All right.
scored, Austin.
I think I'm gonna. Ooh, I don't want to risk it, but I kind of do. I think
Risk
I
it
want
for
to do
the
something
biscuit.
like, yeah, I think just so I can try and get ahead of Jam Sully. I think I want to do prequels 100
Prequels
Knew
for
it.
100.
to try and get a lead.
What planet featured in the prequels was created by Timothy Zahn in his book, Heir to the Empire?
Coruscant.
That is correct.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy that Coruscant wasn't established until
Until
after
Timothy
the
Zahn,
original trilogy was over? Yeah. All right. Cool. Sweet. I took a lead. All right. Now I can start doing some more risky things. Oh man, maybe I should try and snipe all the hundreds.
I mean, you could.
Yeah. Let's try and snipe the hundreds. Animated series 100.
Anime series for 100. Which two men were tasked with making the animated Clone Wars series first in 2003 and then in 2008?
Favroni. He likes to wear cowboy hats. Favreau. I can't think of his first name. It was Favreau. And then the other was Edelman.
What?
What? Okay, that's incorrect. James, you have a chance to steal.
Yeah, I agree with
This
the
is a
Favreau.
terrible idea.
And then,
This is a terrible idea.
Elon Musk?
What?
Yes.
No. It's not Watiti. I don't know. I don't know this other guy's last name either.
This is a 100. It should be easy.
Oh yeah, it's
be.
so easy.
All right, so is it Waku? Is it Favreau and Waku? I'm gonna go with Waku. Yeah, like
That is incorrect.
W-A-I-K-U.
That is
I'm
incorrect.
gonna be mad when I see this name.
It's Dave Filoni for 2008, Ginny Tartakovsky
Filoni.
from 2003.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that name.
Yeah, I know both those names. Yeah, because
Tartakovsky created Samurai Jack.
yeah, exactly. He's a legendary animator when it comes to 2D animation. Pencil to paper work.
Yeah, which makes
ink
sense
work.
why the
He's-
2003 looked so similar to
Yeah.
Samurai Jack's style. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it was legendary in the sense of style. Like it's stylization and everything. Yeah, geez. I totally should have had that.
Definitely more
Well,
than
it's
I,
still
because
your
you're the one
board,
who told me
Austin.
about them.
Well, let's
I
go,
told
Jet.
both of you about them.
Yeah, I know them. I've watched documentaries about them. I just don't remember the names. Just like I don't remember the first president's name, doesn't mean I don't know he exists.
All right, that was a joke. I get it. That was terrible.
So, Jedi text for 100.
How many books are of the Sacred Jedi texts are there?
All of them.
How many though?
There's all of them.
That's not a number.
Okay, you need a number.
Yes.
Can I ballpark it, or does it have to be spot on?
Spot on.
Oh wow.
Judges say spot on. I flipped a coin.
4 billion.
Good God.
Incorrect.
No.
2.
Who do you think you are, Bilbo? Or I mean, Gollum?
Well, no, just remember that last time when you were like 15 and I was like 12 and the answer was 2. And it's
Yeah.
it's gonna be the same thing. It's like 2. There's like 2.
I think,
Sorry.
if I'm not mistaken, there's like, I think there's only like 20.
That is incorrect. There are 8.
8.
Oh!
my God.
Oh, I just reread the question. I wouldn't have gotten it right. Don't get me wrong. I just reread the question and realized it was sacred Jedi text,
text.
not
Jedi
just like
text.
how many books are in the library,
Exactly.
the Jedi Temple. I totally misunderstood.
I specifically worded it with sacred Jedi text.
Yeah, no, you worded it right. I just misunderstood the question until after you said 8, and I'm like, oh, like sacred Jedi text. All right, let's. Who said it for 100?
That's not how we're gonna win. Not fighting what we hate,
my God.
saving what we love.
Who would even know? Man.
Oh my God.
Um,
That one is an easy one.
let's see. It's coming to me. So, Finn was there. They were on like a salt planet. All of the rebellion was hiding in a cave. They were on these speeder bike things that didn't have guns.
You
And
have a minute
Finn
and
was
30 seconds. Are you gonna
Finn
really
was being heroic, and there was a giant laser cannon going off, and he was going to disable it.
How much time does he have?
And then a character came out of nowhere and stopped the whole plot from moving forward in a way that would be compelling. And
You got
then
30
delivered
seconds.
this line. And she said it while a giant laser was firing, destroying everybody that they loved. And that was Rose Tico.
All right. Yes. Yes. It was Rostigo.
All right. All right.
All right. All right. We're going to mix it up. We're going to mix it up here. We're going to go Legendary Legends 200.
Legendary Legends for 200. Before being called Sith, dark side users were called Dark Jedi. How did they get the name Sith?
That was from the species called Sith.
That is correct.
Aha! Almost verbatim for what you wrote down.
Yeah, almost.
All right. Jamcell, you're getting smoked.
Don't worry. I got the rest of these.
Ryan Johnson for 200.
Ryan Johnson for 200. What Star Wars movie did Johnson feel disappointed in, but then grew to love?
What Star Wars movie did Johnson? Oh man, does this include the first 6? I'm thinking it does. I'm gonna go with Empire Strikes Back.
That is Correct.
Yeah, because of course he would hate Empire Strikes Back, the best one, and then over time I've learned to like it. You know, I've learned to appreciate the best Star Wars movie.
You keep
Who
saying
are
the
they?
best, but the thing is, you're wrong, and I don't know
You're
why
right.
you keep saying
You're
wrong
in episode
answers.
3, fanatic. You're right. You're in episode 3.
I
fanatic.
can admit that Empire Strikes Back is a more well-written movie than Revenge of the Sith. But Revenge of the Sith, subjectively, is my favorite.
I have always said if I was going to pick, like, if people are like, which trilogy is the best, and I've always said 3, 4, and 5. That's the best trilogy. It's not prequels. It's not original. It's not sequels. It's 3, 4, and 5. That's the best trilogy. So, who are they for 200?
Who are they for 200? This character was the Chancellor of the Republic before Chief Palpatine was elected.
Oh, crap. Okay, give me a second. Hold on. Give me a second. Chancellor Valorum.
Did you Google it?
No, I promise. I just had to think for a second.
You are correct.
Yeah, I just had to think about the fact that Padme says something like, Chancellor Valorum's been on our side.
I just read the book Plagueis again, and he's in there a
Oh,
lot.
yeah, no, I was just thinking about episode 1. They mention it, and, and they're like, oh, Chancellor Valorum, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
All right.
I wasn't going to be surprised if I was wrong, because Valorum is such a strange thing to say.
Yeah.
Valorum.
Don't we actually see him in episode 1?
Yeah. He gives a speech.
Yeah.
That's also where Padme mentions his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm going to go prequels for 300.
Prequels for 300. Before being written as comic relief, Jar Jar was originally what?
Hold on, are we going... What was this category? Prequels?
Uh-huh.
Before being written as comic relief... Okay, hold on. Are we going fan theory here or confirmed?
No, confirmed.
This is confirmed, 100%.
This is confirmed.
Jar Jar was originally...
I make sure that I check all my sources. This is confirmed.
Okay. How much time do I have left?
50 seconds.
Okay, all right, I got plenty of time. I want to say that Jar Jar would have originally been like the leader of the Gungans. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong.
That is incorrect.
Yeah.
I actually do think I'm gonna go with the. I think he was supposed to be like an Obito or Toby type character, goofy, but he wasn't originally going to be like a Sith Lord of some sort. So I'm going to go with he was supposed to be like a dark Sith or a Sith.
You're going to go with Sith? That is incorrect.
Okay, good. I was going to say that's
supposed to be a mercenary.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I could see that kind of a thing originally before he was goofy.
Austin is still your board.
I'm gonna do animated series 300. See if I can do better on a 300 than a 100.
In the 2003 animated Clone Wars, what Hanna-Barbera character made an appearance?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. That's a good one. Because I really like the 2003. So I'm assuming it's a cameo, the same way E.T. was a cameo in episode 1. I don't want to go. I'm gonna get. This is definitely a guess. I'm gonna guess Marvin the Martian.
That is incorrect.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. That's a good question. That's a nice fun fact.
Looney Tunes?
That's Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, that's still Hanna-Barbera.
Is Hanna-Barbera still Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, because they definitely play on Cartoon Network more so. All right. Let's go with George
You got me
Jetson.
curious. Oh, sorry.
George Jetson?
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
You got me curious. Got to tell me
I
who
am
was
rather
it?
curious too.
Shaggy.
Shaggy?
Shaggy, like from Scooby Doo.
Yes.
Can you
bring
pull up that
Mhm.
frame?
Yep.
Please do. I would love to see. I never
Yeah,
know
that's
this.
crazy.
I've rewatched the 2003 Clone Wars 2 or 3 times even, because it's way better than the modern Clone Wars, the digital one, and it's also a faster watch. It's basically the length of a movie. It's only like an hour and a half for both seasons. I don't even think it's a. Oh my God! Yes, as a Jedi, I remember they're fighting
I do
Grievous.
remember
And
that
his name is
too.
Shaggy.
Shaggy. Oh, that's so good. I never put 2 and 2 together. I remember this scene because this is when they're in like a destroyed cruiser and Grievous is coming to kill him. Yeah.
Yep, and he
Crap.
does die.
Yep. Never put that together. Holy crap. That's great. Thank you for teaching me that.
Yeah, that's kind of baller.
Jedi Techs. Wait, no. Yeah, Jedi Techs for 300.
In the Chronicles, I realize now I misspelled Chronicles.
I love it. It looks great.
Sabu, it describes a technique to repair what?
Oh, it describes a technique to repair pottery.
Incorrect.
I'm just
James.
gonna go out on a limb. Lightsabers.
Don't you dare.
Judges want a more specific answer.
Kyber
Oh.
crystals.
Crap, that's probably it.
Yes.
Dang it. That's so. Oh my God. I should have just said lightsaber. That was my original thought. And I was like, nah, it's too simple. I'm going to do potted plants.
Dude, I immediately went there. I was just like, I got to, right?
All right.
All right.
I hate it.
To continue what Austin's been doing with the pattern thing, so we're gonna go 300 on who said it.
You like my pattern?
Yeah, dude, I was actually really hoping you would, and I'm so glad you had the same thought process.
All right. So, I fear nothing, for all is the Force wills it.
Nothing for all of this. Who said this? Okay. All is this Force wills it. I feel the problem right now that I'm running into is there's so many characters that could potentially have said this.
Hello, Proton.
Hey.
Yeah, dude, good to see you. Welcome back.
9, 8,
He's like,
7, 6.
Qui-Gon.
But incorrect.
all right, hold on. Before I start, I just want to say, Proton, it's good to see you. You're in basically every single stream. Yeah, I appreciate you letting me know that you're too busy to talk because I would obviously invite you on, as I always do every time you show up. I'm hoping you got that mic fixed, and this time being busy is your excuse instead of not having a mic. But all right. So I'm gonna go with okay, I don't know the character's name, but I'm hoping that you or the judges will be forgiving and lenient and merciful. And all-knowing and powerful and mighty and beautiful and wonderful and loved.
Well, stop placating
by
to them.
Many.
Stop placating. Just answer the question.
So this is actually the guy from Rogue One who's blind, and he's the actor who played Ip Man or IP Man in that trilogy of movies. I don't remember his name though. He was in a romantic relationship with the other dude who was a Mandalorian.
Judges say yes. That is acceptable.
Yeah, I totally forgot about him.
Chirrut Imwe.
Yeah, never going to tell you that name.
Never would have got that one.
They were not in a romantic relationship. Just so you know.
Okay, no, the Mandalorian guy was gay for him though.
I don't remember.
Yes,
maybe?
No, it's.
Yeah, there's something weird. There was something weird about the relationship that was discussed.
Okay, death of the author. No, there was nothing in the movie about that. But the author said that there was. Okay. So what's next? I guess Legendary Legends 400.
Legendary Legends for 400.
That breaks it so hard. Why?
With
No,
a
that
long
was-
history of super weapons, this ancient space station was capable of pulling entire planets with its tractor beam.
Ooh. With a long history of super weapons, this ancient space station was capable. Oh, is it? No, it can't be. What's that thing called? Because I don't think it's right, but I'm just gonna guess it anyways. It's the. It's not called the Forge. It's something Forge though. It's crap. It's in Knights of the Republic, and I could be wrong about this, but it's the only thing that comes to mind is the big bad thing that you have to destroy in Knights of the Republic. It's the Infinity Forge. No, not Infinity Forge. Infinity Engine. No, that sounds like it's from something else. That's not in Star Wars. Infinity. It's something Forge. It's the big space station in Knights of the Republic that you have to go to because it makes an endless fleet, but it also has a huge tractor beam that pulls ships down to a planet. So I'm probably wrong, but that's gonna be my guess. That's as close as I can get. I can't think of the actual name.
That is incorrect.
Okay, yeah, fine. Darksaber? Is it Darksaber? No, I'm just kidding.
This station is known for pulling entire planets with its tractor beam.
Yeah.
I'm assuming mine's probably wrong too, but there's it's in Corellia space.
Oh no, James. No, you're right. You're totally right.
Driving station. It's just, oh god. Okay, if we go with the Legendary Legends, can I just describe? Because Ben Skywalker, Ben Skywalker
totally
goes there with
right.
Jason at one point to fight off some people, and they arrest. They go to arrest Han and Leia when Han goes to visit his family.
I don't know if you're right anymore.
It's the station it's the station actually in Corellia space that they use called I want to say like Tricon station. I don't know what the name is.
Dude, you're close, but I think you're actually wrong now. Honestly, you were on the right trail, but I could be wrong.
I'm still on that same thought process. I just don't know the name of it. I'm just everything I was describing is from the books. I don't know the name. I really don't know the name, but it's an old station, and they used it at one point.
I think it's something like Center Point. I'm willing to try and help you on this one.
I think it is.
I think it's something like Center Point Station.
You are right.
All right, that's final answer.
Yeah.
That is correct.
See, yeah. And
also judges were going to give it to you because you described exactly what happened and where it was.
Yeah, it's in Corellia space and it has a binary. It's making a binary star.
Yeah.
See,
I was like,
or binary, like, yeah. That's crazy.
As soon as you asked that question, I was just like, it has to be that, but I couldn't think of the name.
I forgot all about that until you mentioned Han Solo and his kids going there, and I'm like, oh crap, yeah, Center Point, my favorite Han Solo trilogy.
Right, it's so good. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, that thing was presumed to be created about 100,000 BBY.
Yeah, because even the Corellians didn't know where it came from. They just knew that they had it.
Yeah, it's been there as long as they remember. It's that ancient. It's like, it's just there. It's part of space.
All right.
Let's go with, oh God. Yeah.
How did I mess up the pattern? You said I broke the pattern. How did I break the pattern?
No, he hasn't. You haven't.
Yeah, but Jam Sully said I did.
It's fine because technically you are right. It was just it looked wrong at first just because we got rid of 400 or the 600 and 500s.
Oh, did you want me to go straight across 400 and just wipe them all off the board?
That would have been better. Let's go with Ryan Johnson.
400. What film did Johnson work on while at Skywalker Ranch?
While at Skywalker Ranch? Did he work on The Last Jedi?
Final answer?
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Oh, good. I'm glad because I was like, that's stupid easy if this is a 400-point
Yeah,
question.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, I should have
I'm
thought
really
of that.
glad that was wrong. Okay, so it's actually a hard question. Will you read the question out to me and then
What film
Okay.
did Johnson work on while at Skywalker Ranch?
Looper.
Incorrect.
Dang it.
It was Knives Out.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
the movie he made after The Last Jedi. Yeah. I should have guessed that. Yeah.
So he had this movie
makes more sense.
completed. He had it
Mhm.
completed while filming The Last Jedi. He was editing it while at Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah. James Sully's still yours. Dang it.
It's a better movie than The Last Jedi.
I still haven't seen it. I liked Looper better than The Last Jedi.
All right. Well, you know what's next. Who are they? 400.
This Twilight Jedi was slain on Felucia by her own clone troopers.
Oh, Shakti. No, she's not Twi'lek. Shakti's not Twi'lek, is she?
I'm not giving you any answers.
No, I know you're not. I'm thinking in my head.
Bro, I helped you once. I'm not helping you again.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to give this to you.
I'm not having you tie it.
Oh God, I feel like Shakti's Togruta, but I'm gonna go with Shakti.
That is incorrect.
Dang it.
I'm not gonna get this one right either. She's one of my favorite characters. Loved playing her.
Hey, I don't know why I can't
in-
think of her name.
Was it Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original one? Loved playing her on the Felucia map. Don't remember her name. I'm just gonna go with Talos.
That is incorrect.
Yep.
It is Ayla Secura.
Secura. Yeah, I don't remember the first name, but yeah, Secura.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right. So how should we continue this pattern? At this point, let's just wipe out 400, right? Go up. All right. So, who said it? 400.
I sense great fear in you, Skywalker. You have hate. You have anger, but you don't use them.
That's great theory. Palpatine.
Incorrect.
I'm gonna need I want to think about this for a second.
All right.
But you don't use them. Crap. I feel like this is not from a movie, so I don't think I'm gonna get it right. But I'm gonna guess Dooku.
That is correct.
Yeah. Was it in a movie?
Yes, it was in episode 2.
Nice.
Crap. Okay, cool. Awesome. I don't remember that, but I was like, that just sounds like Dooku. That sounds like something Dooku would say. All right. I'm going to follow Jam Sully's pattern here, and let's go back to Jedi text for 400.
Jedi text for 400. The Ramagon
What?
has its cover made of red clay formed from what?
I don't even know what that is.
The Ramagon has its cover. Okay, so it's a book, and the cover of the book is made from red clay.
Formed from what?
Yeah, but what was that red clay formed from? The red clay was formed from Geonosis.
Incorrect.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with planets as well. Oh, crap. What is the planet he's on? It's a Sith planet. Banon's there when he starts getting his training. It's one of the most well-known Sith planets. Why can't I think of the name? Batu? That's not the name of it. Yeah, it's not the name of it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Screw it.
All right, you're gonna go with Batu. Yeah. So what if I told you this answer is really, really dumb?
Okay.
I hope it is.
Interstellar gases.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. Red clay formed from interstellar gases. Great. I love
Holy
it.
crap. Okay. Yeah.
Animated series for 400.
Before the release of the final season of Clone Wars, there were basic animations released to the public. Who was featured as nose art on one of the ships?
Those are on one of the ships.
You know how back in World War II they used to paint things on the nose of the ships,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
on the nose of the planes?
Yeah, I got that part. I don't know who they would have.
I'm gonna go with
painted on
Chuck Norris.
That's funny.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
It would be cool.
It would be. But no.
Released to the public as nose art on one of the ships. Let's go with Chewie.
That is also incorrect.
I have a second guess for no points. George Lucas.
That would have been great, but no.
Is that the answer? Oh, yes. At least I got it on my second try.
Padme?
Oh no. Okay.
He said no.
Oh, I thought he said,
He said-
"Oh, that would be great." As in, like, it would have been great if you answered that the first time.
No, he's more like that would have been great. Like, yeah,
Okay.
that would have been amazing.
Padme was nose art. Cool. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Prequels for 400.
Prequels for 400. Daily double.
Woo! I got both.
Nice.
I'm
You
a
got
wreck
this
you,
for
son.
wrong.
Do you want to double the 400? Do you want to bet some points?
Why don't you just go ahead and bet 2100?
What was the category? I forgot.
Prequels.
Okay, prequels. I want to bet. 18. I want to bet 800.
800.
Yeah.
All right.
So that means I could get 1,600, right? If I get it right.
Yes.
Yep.
But
Okay.
if
Otherwise,
you
I lose
don't-
800.
Yeah, if you don't, you go back down to 1,300.
Yep, that's perfect.
All right. What was Mace Windu's name going to be originally?
Oh, I'm glad you got this one.
Well, that was a stupid idea on my part. Mace Windu's original name was going to be Shav Tatum.
Final answer?
Yeah, of course.
That is incorrect.
What was his original name?
Let me change the points real quick.
Yeah, we're tied again. There you go, James Sully.
It was
there we go.
Mace Windy.
That's so dumb. I'm so glad he changed it to Windu.
Because Mace was supposed to show up in the
Windy?
original trilogy.
Mace Windy.
And this was the rough name that Lucas had for him.
Yeah, of course.
Windy.
Of
That's
course.
awesome. Oh, good. Okay.
All right, let's do Legendary Legends 300.
Legendary Legends for
Oh, wait.
300.
It's time for a break.
Oh, yeah.
Daily
we go
Double.
back-
Let's finish that video.
I was
Man.
just pulling that up.
Don't you have
I'm
another
gonna
story?
tell you- yeah, I'm gonna tell you my other story. So,
Yay.
Same day.
Oh,
right?
wow. Eventful day.
Yeah. Dude, my day. After the story happened, I was thinking, like, did I enter the Twilight Zone? Because so much random stuff was just going on. So we're trying to figure out at my house who's all coming over to play Magic and stuff like that. For some reason, some argument came up. I texted the person to find out if they were coming. A lot of drama spawned, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go jump in the shower. I'm not even gonna bother with it. They'll figure this out. I jump in the shower. While I'm in the shower, I start hearing someone screaming. My roommate is just yelling. Next thing I know, she's like, F you, and F you too, yelling at me while I'm in the shower. And then she's like, F everyone, and then storms out. I absolutely have no clue what took place, okay? So I get out of the shower. I'm like, what's going on? Well, when I get out of the shower, the guy that I was messaging finally comes over and he's like, hey, man. And I'm like, all right, let's go get some beers because I don't know what's going on, but my roommate's pissed. We show up to go get some beers at the gas station. This is where the story actually kind of goes ridiculous.
Mhm.
While we're in the shower, holy
Whoa.
crap, so
I
risque.
always thought you were a closeted homosexual.
That might be. Anyway,
I'm glad you're coming out.
while we're at the gas station, him and I are discussing what had just taken place at my house, and it's like, well, if they didn't want to play Magic, they should have just said no. And we walk by while I'm saying this. It's like, people should just say no. There's this woman getting her drinks or whatever, and we pass by saying like she should have just said no because that'd been fine. And I'm thinking she misunderstood our conversation because we gave no details, and because we were in public,
I
we
can
were
see
just
where
being
this is going.
very PC, right? And so we go grab our beers, get back in line, and then we proceed to start talking about Magic and just the game and like different cards, as well as still having the conversation about my roommate being like, she should have just said no, makes no sense, blah 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 blah. And this woman turns around and it's like, I'm tired of you guys talking about whatever you're talking about. It's disturbing me. And then the guy who's with me is like, what? He's like,
Yeah.
He proceeds to be like, well, I'm sorry. He's like, we'll stop talking about it, whatever. He becomes super PC about it. And I'm still
no,
sitting
F
there with,
that lady.
yeah, I'm still sitting there with this dumb look on my face, like, what just took place? So I voiced my thought, which is, what just happened? What are you talking about? And then she's like, I've had enough, and then walked off, like storms off. And puts up her drinks, or doesn't even put up her drinks. She goes and grabs new drinks and gets behind in the line. At this point, there's like 4 other people behind us. So she just wanted to not be near us at all because she didn't have any clue what our conversation was.
What the crap, man?
Dude,
it's a good thing I wasn't there, dude. It was a good thing I wasn't there.
As we start walking out, my buddy was like, I don't know what's so bad about Magic. I guess you're just being a raging bitch.
Okay, actually, that might be worse than what I said. I was thinking I would do.
I just didn't understand it. Oh man, and then that my day accumulated to that nonsense, and then the Taco Bell trip that same day.
Yeah, holy crap! I guess people were just in a bad mood,
dude. For no reason.
I'm just saying, if you and I were having a conversation and then just some person, not even a lady, just some person was like, I'm sick of this conversation you guys are having. I find it offensive or something like that. I'd be like, why? And if they didn't answer, I would continue to be like, hey, I noticed that you just got out of line and are now a few people behind me. Can you explain what your problem with me is? Because that'd be a good thing to know.
Seriously, she was just like, your conversation is disturbing me. And it's like,
yeah,
what
okay, explain yourself.
Like, the only thing I can think of is she should have said no, which again could totally be taken wrong.
I mean, you could take that in any way. Yeah, but if you don't, it could mean literally anything, so it means nothing.
Exactly. And then the only other thing that she got mad about was we were talking about Magic, and we never specified cards or anything. We were just saying like the text of the cards, and then he was like, he's like, I actually really enjoy playing Magic, was one of the lines he said, and that's when she lost it. It's just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, okay, random lady. Thanks for your input.
Those were my stories for that day. It was really dumb.
That sounds like a stupid day. I'm glad you survived it.
Oh man. All right, I'm ready for this video. Those are all my stories unless you guys have stuff.
No, dude, I'm good. Let's just watch this video.
Okay.
Kalabeth and the people of Middle-earth give us some idea of what the Numenorians were like. They appear to have sailed so far east that they saw the gates of morning, essentially where the sun rises, which would imply that they sailed south and around Hurrah to the other side of the continent, and would have interacted with the people there. They're said to have established colonies, so it's possible they may have interbred with the Easterlings, but Tolkien never states this. Instead, he says that they mingled with the lesser men of Endor, Middle-earth, and mainly from the south, since the elves had control over the north and northeast, meaning Numenor wouldn't have had tons of Asians. They
also, I just want to add something real quick.
Yeah.
What he means by lesser men is not noble.
Yes, yeah. If you understand anything about medieval, it's not meaning like
it's
like
not
actual lesser people.
Right, yeah. There's no racist context in that. It's literally, I'm a noble and I mingled with non-nobles.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. I just wanted to clarify that.
All right.
Middle-earth. We also know what the Numenorians look like because Tolkien described them. Most were blonde, blue-eyed, and from the House of Hodor. The rest from the House of Beor.
Oh god, it sounds like Aryans.
I mean, they kind of are.
You can draw that assumption, yeah.
Oh no, is Tolkien a secret Nazi?
No.
Definitely
He
not.
fought against them.
No, he fought in World War I.
That's
wasn't
right.
against Nazis.
That's right. But he
was against
always
Germans.
he constantly denounced them.
It was just against Germans. Yeah, he did. He was around what 70s or 80s is when he passed away.
Yeah, because he knew Peter Jackson,
I didn't know that.
or was it James Cameron? I can't remember which one did
I
the
thought it was
movies.
James Cameron.
Yeah,
Well,
he knew
Peter
James
Jackson
Cameron.
does the movie, but I thought he knew James Cameron.
I can't remember.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
He died at some point in time in the 70s, 60s, 70s.
Essentially, they looked like human versions of the Vanyar and Noldor, respectively. They were also part Eldar or Elf to begin with, so that's not really surprising. The point is that none of the Númenóreans themselves would look Asian. They also wouldn't look black. Very few of them would be mixed race, especially if the Amazon show is supposed to happen during the height of their power. They weren't mixing with other people then. So in the best case scenario, you can have Easterling visitors to the island. But again, it's 1,200 miles over mountain ranges and in the middle of conflict between groups of men and remnants of Morgoth's hordes. Just like we didn't see a lot of Asian people in the Mediterranean and Western Europe for centuries until faster methods of travel came along. Same thing here. They wouldn't be there. And they don't have to be. Ludi Lin is Chinese, so he should know that China has thousands of years of stories to pull from. There's literally no reason to hijack Lord of the Rings to be more inclusive. You have plenty of tales no one outside of China even knows about. Adapt some of those. But we
see.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If there are so many stories out there, and you're constantly redoing the same ones over and over and over, looking at you, Disney. You can pull from other stories, please.
Yeah, that's very true. One thing I'd like to add here is some historical context. So not only was it that Asians didn't really have contact with Europeans until faster means of travel, they actually didn't want to have contact with us whenever we sailed to them and met them. By we, I mean Europe. Europe actually forced at gunpoint for trading routes to be opened with Japan.
Yeah.
Like they literally showed up
because they were an isolationist country.
Yeah, exactly. And they're kind of still an isolationist country to this day.
They export a lot of manga. And that's the number one selling thing in adult,
that's true.
In adult, what's it called?
Literature?
No, not literature. Adult comic book sales.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. And but the thing is, like, the point he's making where it's like, oh yeah, we didn't really have contact with Asians until there's faster means of travel. And then even then, they didn't want to have contact with Europe. Europe forced them to have contact at gunpoint, forced trading deals to be signed. Like, I don't know. I just adding whoever that dude was that he mentioned on Twitter being like, whoa, we're not showing really a diverse, wide world. It's like, well, let's look at the historic context here. Your people didn't want to be involved. They were doing their own thing.
They really didn't want to be involved.
And so we could probably assume, essentially, that, I mean, we could infer that the races in Middle Earth were doing the same thing. Because, like, let's look at hobbits. Let's look at basically everybody kept to themselves. The elves, the dwarves, the humans. Like,
they had their areas and they stuck to it.
Yeah, like, the reason you don't see a lot of races is because, like, well, they weren't in the story. Tolkien didn't write the story about the Easterlings. He didn't write a story about, like, all these other different races. He wrote them about the hobbits, and then they just happened to interact with men and elves and dwarves because they were going through a travel.
Yeah, exactly, because they were going well beyond what a normal person would travel and interacted with a bunch of foreign things, or as the hobbits would describe it, queer.
Yep. It's like they weren't really, it wasn't about the fact that it's like, oh yeah, well, why don't they have all these different races? It's like, well, let's look at the real world. The world of Tolkien was very divided. He even says that multiple times.
Yeah, they really, no. It's silly to try and retroactively shoehorn in 21st century concepts into something that's supposed to take place in the medieval ages.
Yep.
Pre-medieval ages. This is supposed to be This is supposed to be the history of Europe, according to Tolkien, right? This is like how Britain and England and all that was founded. That's
I mean,
why
kind of,
Numenor
but
is
no.
Atlantis. Yeah. Kind of, but no, I get that. I'm not saying verbatim, but his whole idea was he was like, we don't have enough fantasy origin stories, so I'm going to tell
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, he was basically
Well-
saying like we don't have our own like Norse mythology, Greek mythology kind of thing. And so he was like, I'll make one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you also got to look back at historical context. Every European may have been white, but they were a different race if you look back at history. You had the
Yeah.
Germanic tribes, you had the Normans, you had the Franks, you had the Anglos, you had the Saxons, you had the Danes,
The Welsh,
the
the
Welsh.
Dutch.
They were all different.
Mhm.
They all had
Yeah.
different cultures.
Yep, absolutely.
Well,
It's
aren't
not
the
until
Dutch
modern
French?
times that we actually separate people
Maybe.
into white, black,
Yeah.
Asian.
No, exactly. Because at that time period, all of them were white, but they were so different that they viewed themselves as all weird and different people from different races. They're like, "Oh, you're a completely different race because you're, 100 miles away from me. You're nothing like
Yeah.
me."
Different cultures. It's really more separated by culture than race.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But here's a fun little tidbit for the Germanic tribes. The ones that lived in what is now Bavaria used to have real bad gambling problems. And what they would actually do is they would bet away their freedoms and voluntarily go into slaves if they lost a bet. And the way that you would determine a free man from a slave is the slaves would tie up their hair, and if they won a bet after gambling again, because they're going to continue to gamble, if they can win their freedom back after that, they cut the tie out of their hair. Like they actually knot the hair itself. They don't use anything to hold it there. They grab the hair, tie it into a knot, and just pull on it and get it as close to the scalp as possible.
That's interesting.
Like an old school ponytail.
Yeah, but it's on the side of the head.
Also back in the day, there was actually a lot of slaves that sold themselves into slavery because
To
their
pay
living
off
conditions
debts
were so.
or-
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Or
one
to
way.
have food. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Their living conditions were so poor that they would just go up to someone who was well off and be like, "Can I just work for you forever and you feed me and house me?" And they're like, "Okay, yeah, we'll do that."
Yeah, it's like
The
serfdom.
Romans had a lot of that actually. There was
Yeah,
a lot of
'cause
people who were in quote unquote slavery that weren't actual slaves.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were. I'm just saying, not all slavery was stealing people, taking them to a foreign land, and putting them in chains. A lot of
Yeah.
slavery was, I'll give up my own free will voluntarily.
Well, the reason I said not quote unquote slaves is because, like, accordingly to history, those people who gave up their rights were actually treated pretty decently because it wasn't that they
Yep, absolutely.
were captured or anything. So they were treated relatively well, and usually were given positions as like servants of like in the house versus like working out in the fields and stuff like that.
Yeah, and thing is, we all focus on slavery as it being in America, but we never focus on slavery around the world, where tribes
Oh yeah,
conquer other tribes and take those tribes as slaves.
yeah, that was a common thing, like especially way back in when, like, again, one of the best quotes I've ever heard in my life. I love it. The past was the worst. All right, like,
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. Yeah, the past was the worst.
like so much happened that it's like, do you really want to pretend like our past wasn't just garbage? Your past wasn't garbage, like stop pretending that like you guys started doing things better just because you started doing it like 10 to 15 years before anyone else did.
Right. That's true. We're basically all equivalently sucky lineages.
Yep.
No one's more no one has a better lineage than anyone else. We all did terrible things.
Yes.
In history. The other thing to add with what you were saying earlier about like conquering a place and taking slaves, if I'm not mistaken, the general practice was We defeated your army. We took over your town. We kill all the men and then enslave all of the women and children.
They killed the elderly men, because and the ones that were combat ready. They left
Yeah, so
alive
young boys were okay, but
the young boys and the weaker men in their 20s and 30s. They left alive because they could use them out in the
fields and stuff.
fields and also for caravans and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's crazy. I like that though. Boiling it down so simply to the past was the worst.
Dude, yeah, no, because it's so
I like
true.
boiling it down that simply. The past was the worst. Okay, let's just get that over with. The past was the worst.
But let's continue.
We know what this is really about. 1, he wants a job. 2, Lord of the Rings is popular. And because it's popular and well-known and beloved, it must be destroyed. That's all this is about. Power and control. That's it. They can't create anything as interesting as Middle-earth, so they will take it and wreck it so that no one will like it anymore, while also wanting to be a part of the thing that's being liked. That's not always the conscious intent, but the intention is always there. And I know it sounds contradictory, but that's how these folks work. Think about every time you see them doing all these self-insert characters. It's not enough for them to add themselves into the story and make those characters the bestest ever. It's also that you're supposed to like the character. Look at how much they flip out when the characters don't get over. Why would you care if no one liked the character if it were just about representation? Because it's not. It's about power and control. They want to be the beloved dictator.
Yeah, he makes
and
a good point.
They swear they'll be benevolent. They swear it. They swear it on the precious.
Yes.
They don't think about the ramifications of anything that they're doing, like how they're twisting and ruining Tolkien's story, turning it into a literary wraith of itself.
How do you feel about that, James?
Oh no, I agree. Like, because it's one of those like, why? Why would you do what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
And-
Go ahead.
And another thing that's been happening a lot and has shown itself in the movie Cruella, which was released recently somehow.
Yeah, I
do you
saw.
remember-
I read. Oh man, continue.
Do you
Sorry.
remember the couple that's in the original 101 Dalmatians?
The couple that
Yes.
owns the dogs?
Yes.
Yeah, they make them black, and they make a black chick and a white dude.
Yeah, they got rid
Oh.
of the ginger.
So once
Yeah.
again, it's another case of erasing gingers from media. Holy
Yeah.
crap, that's such a weird phenomenon that's happening.
And they want to claim it's due to the way lighting works on set. Whenever in the first few Marvel movies, whenever what's her name, Black Widow, she was on set and she had the red hair. That wasn't an issue. And then they dyed her hair blonde.
That's a stupid, that's a terrible excuse. Lighting is an issue?
Yeah.
For real?
Apparently. That's one of the issues they've given.
Millions and billions of dollars for budget with all these digital artists that basically make entire scenes in computers, and lighting is an issue for a redhead.
Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Oh, I was gonna say one thing. If what this guy's saying, no, not this guy. Sorry, some guy. If some guy is saying, that they're gonna, what was it called? What did he say? Game of Thrones. They're gonna Game of Thrones Lord of the Rings. It's already ruined. There's nothing else. Like, you already ruined it. You can go ahead and slap on whatever else you want. You already ruined it. Throwing everything else. Why not?
That's fair.
That's all I was gonna add. And I think he's right about the dude's tweet being, "I'm looking for work." That's basically what it boils down to, is you should hire me.
I'm Asian, hire me.
Yeah, please hire me. Look, I'll make a stink about inclusivity.
throwing out everything that Tolkien held dear and intrinsic to Middle-earth. Anyone who reads Tolkien will notice the Christian and European mythology guidance story. The fall of Numenor is a double reference, one to the fall of man, the other to the fall of Atlantis. Hell, it's even called Atlantiae after its downfall. Tolkien was very specific in his word and story choices, and he really didn't like being edited. If something was there, he meant it to be there. And
Oh,
as
yeah,
many have said before,
he's had lots of fights with editors.
Tolkien?
Oh yeah.
And that's not to put the man on a pedestal. It's just to say that the appeal of a live action show about his work is to see his work come to life as he intended it. He described what the characters looked like. That's what we want to see. He described and even drew what the locations look like. That's what we want to see.
And he was an amazing
He told us
artist.
what Middle-earth was
Oh, yeah.
like. We finally have the technology to create his vision as he described it. Do that. I understand taking some artistic liberties. I understand and even hope
Yeah.
for people changing things to make them work better for film. You
Yeah,
make
of course.
Frodo young because you'd kill the tension if 17 years pass before Frodo leaves for Mordor like he did in the book. But you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Yeah,
did
a
leave-
movie.
Well, it's because whenever we actually meet Frodo in the first few chapters, it's before Bilbo's birthday. And it's going to take a while. And
Yeah,
then we
well-
finally get 17 years later where it's Bilbo's birthday and we see Gandalf.
No, you got that timeline a little bit wrong. The birthday happens, and then it's like 17 years. Because like the whole first chapter of the book is from Bilbo. Like we think Bilbo's the main character, and then he does the whole party shenanigans, and then has his confrontation with Gandalf and leaves, and that's when we realize Frodo's actually the main character. And then it's
Wait, would you
17
consider
years.
it from Bilbo's point of view? I always assumed it was like a narrative point of view, like because we were just we were following.
Yeah,
a
no,
character.
sorry. Yeah, I shouldn't
But,
say
like-
Bilbo's point of view, but Bilbo came across as the main character because it's a sequel to The Hobbit. So you're like, oh, Bilbo,
Yeah.
the familiar character. We're following him again on another adventure, and then he leaves, and you're like, wait, what? And it's like, no, Frodo now.
Yeah,
But yeah, the main point is true that when it comes to telling a movie, if you convey 17 years have passed, it's like, wow, a lot of tension just died down from what's being built because it keeps building and building, and then you're just basically going to release the valve and be like, yeah, all that tension and pressure, no reason to feel that anymore. It's been 17 years. But it's different in the book, because in the book, 17 years can pass and another 9, and it's plausible and it makes sense why.
and like it's all just also because books are a lot easier to tell the story where like they
Mhm.
do have time jumps, but it doesn't seem inappropriate versus like in a movie if you have a time jump that massive with because like had he told us that we had that time jump in the movie, because I know I've bitched about it before, it's like in the movie you just don't know the time happened.
Yeah,
But
it
it's
definitely
better that-
does.
It does, but it's better that that they didn't show it and they didn't explain that time happened, because it just feels like, oh, the next day or something.
Right.
And plus,
yeah.
on top of
or
that,
maybe a
Bilbo's-
week
or-
or two has passed.
Yeah, on top of that, like Frodo's like almost 50 years old in the book when he leaves.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Which is crazy. 50 or 60. He's pretty freaking old. But
He's
not for a
not
Hobbit.
60. He's not 60. He's like 50.
Okay.
He's definitely in his 50s.
Okay. Which is not
Yeah.
old for a Hobbit, though, because isn't he
Well-
considered a young man?
Yes, he is
Uh,
considered a young man or a early 20s in Hobbit.
Yeah, that's a good way
Well,
to
no,
put it.
early 20s is still, they're called their tweens. They're in their tweens. He's they said he's
I think he means in
maturing.
human years.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He means like in human
years.
years, he's like early 20s.
Yeah. And then
20
you
to
got to remember
25-ish.
Aragorn lived to be at least like 200 something, 300 something.
I thought it
Yeah,
was
he's
older
like-
than that.
Well, he's half elf.
Oh. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not full. So it was like 357. Plus he's a Numenorian, which they already had long lives, but we know that their lifespan was depleting.
Is it Aragorn that I'm thinking of then that's like 60 during
yeah,
the movie?
Aragorn's 87 in the movies.
87. Holy crap, that's crazy.
Yeah. He doesn't look
But-
it.
Yeah, but for him that's like early 20s. Because he lived so
Thereabouts.
freaking long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, freaking crazy. Anyways.
Make him a girl or black or a transgender deerkin. Respect the lore.
Transgender
Except
deer
that
kid.
Tolkien knew what he was doing. There's a reason his books have been in print for nearly 80 years. And I promise you, It's not because of my representation. But what do I know? I'm just some guy.
Good job, some guy. That was a good video.
Yeah, that was good. I
What's
entirely
your-
agree with him.
What's
What?
your picture of?
Huh?
Oh, it's a bottle of bamboo.
Oh, that sounds
Bamboo.
delicious.
Dude, that stuff's amazing.
Who was it again? It was James?
No, it was me.
Oh.
I stole it back.
I was like,
And
what
then
are you asking?
I failed the daily double. That's
Yeah,
why we're
what?
tied. But I'm
Counterpoint, I'm in command and I order you to stop complaining.
What?
yeah, fair enough. I will not. So I'm gonna go legendary legends for 300.
Legendary Legends for 300.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
so
do
confused
this.
on what just took place.
Why did R5D4 droid Uncle Owen was going to purchase malfunction?
Technically, it committed suicide intentionally because he and R2 had a conversation beforehand where R2D2 explained that he was working with the rebels and he was on a very important mission and that he needed to get purchased.
No.
Yes!
No.
He had a bad motivator. Is that what you want? You want the bad motivator? I
nope.
gave you the real answer.
That's not the answer that I'm looking for.
Well, you're wrong.
Yeah. James?
Okay. Why did the R5D4 droid Uncle Owen was going to purchase malfunction? R2D2 sabotaged his chips and just really messed with his inhibitors.
No.
Dang it.
It's a really
You're talking about Red. You're talking about Red, right?
I'm talking about Skippy, the Jedi droid. Because he had a terrible force vision of the future.
Skippy?
That's his name. That's R5D4's name. He is Skippy, the Jedi droid.
Is this... wait, are we talking about the droid? Am I thinking of the same droid? Are we talking about the droid that when Uncle Owen's going to buy droids,
There
Luke
was
says,
two
"Come on, Red"?
canonicities. There was two
Right.
canonicities to it.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I'm saying that's the one where Luke says, "Come on, Red," and then he blows up and he's like, "He's got a bad motivator."
Yep, that's the same
Bad
one.
droid.
Yep. There was a comic that came out with Dark Horse in Star Wars #1 that was of Skippy, the Jedi droid, and he had a force vision that if he went with Luke, the stormtroopers would capture the Jawa. They would take R2, take him to Vader. Vader would kill Leia, destroy R2, and
A droid
the galaxy
had a force vision.
Yep.
That's stupid.
Well, technically the
that's
force is
not
in everything, right?
Legendary Legends is dumb. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so there was a previous version of the canon that I didn't know. All right, because I know the current. I don't even know if it's the current version. I know the more up to date version of that canon.
It was back in a Dark Horse comic that
Gotcha.
it happened.
All right, we're gonna do animated series for 200.
Animated series for 200. Which clone was presumed dead, only to show up with the Bad Batch sometime later?
Fives.
Incorrect.
Which clone was this? I haven't watched the Bad Batch. Oh man. We're gonna go with.
Oh wait, were we supposed to watch the Bad Batch?
No,
I have no.
It happened in the Clone Wars series.
Oh, okay. Wait, which season?
Okay. 4 or 5.
If it's. Oh, okay. All right. So I actually have seen this. All right.
Oh yeah, I
think,
don't know.
or
I'm
maybe
gonna go
7.
with,
I can't remember.
If it's in 7, then I don't care.
One of the translation droids. So I don't know if
Droid?
C3POs are standard. Wait, did you say
clone?
Oh, clone. Oh, I don't know why I read droid.
That's a whole different.
We don't
Yeah,
talk
it's a
about
totally different
Clinkus
thing.
here.
Okay. Commander Cody.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
No.
That was a good guess,
No.
man. I'm with you on that.
Oh, it's probably
was
Rex,
Echo.
honestly.
Never heard of him.
What? Okay.
Echo was part of the 501st. He was part of Five's group.
Yeah, I know
Oh,
Fives. I don't remember Echo. We're gonna do Ryan Johnson for 100.
Ryan Johnson for 100. According to Johnson, who is the last Jedi?
That'd be Ray.
Incorrect.
What?
Incorrect.
Totally.
Incorrect.
All right, I'm gonna go with Luke.
That is correct.
Oh, okay. All right, you get the board back and the lead. All right, cool.
Okay.
Luke is the no, he is the last Jedi.
Because
Right, because the Jedi
Rey is
die
not a
with him.
Jedi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the Jedi die with Luke. Yeah, fair.
All right, we're gonna go with Ryan Johnson for 300.
All right, cool. This is my favorite
Get him
one.
out of here.
When Johnson was on the Film Spotting podcast, he said, "With these films, I am trying to harken back to the original Star Wars blank."
To the original Star Wars. I don't want to say trilogy because that just seems silly, simple. To the original Star Wars story.
Incorrect.
Swear if it's trilogy, I'm gonna be so mad.
No, it's gonna be something like really like it's gonna be word salad or whatever. Like it's just gonna be like it's gonna be a pointless thing where this sentence means nothing.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I'm talking
Yeah.
to Jam Sully. You get what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be a
Yeah.
sentence that when you finish it, it's like, oh, you're saying absolutely nothing. So it's gonna be something like the emotional landscape.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Incorrect. It has a point, and you're going to hate the point that he made.
Oh, I know. I know I
Christmas
will.
Special. The original Star
Oh
Wars
my
Christmas
God.
special.
He was trying to harken back to the Christmas special.
That trash? So
Oh,
he did good.
wow.
He did good.
Yeah, I guess in a way he did good. I mean, honestly, it was less boring than the Christmas special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. All right, let's go with Who Are They 300.
Who are they for 300? Who is the governor of Naboo in the Phantom Menace?
Who's the governor of Naboo?
Mm-hmm.
So not the senator, because that would be Palpatine. Who's the governor? Oh. Padme's the queen. Let's go with Padme.
Incorrect.
No, it's the guy. Remember the
The
scene
old
in
fat
episode?
dude, yeah.
Yeah, with the beard, the gray beard,
Yeah.
and he's on a hollow call, and he says something like, "They're jamming our communications. Communications have broken down. We need to some." He
Yeah,
has a.
I know
It's
who you're
really
talking about.
yeah.
But I just don't know his name.
Nintili? I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
His name is C.O. Bibble.
Oh, Bibble. Yeah.
Mm.
Good old Bibble.
Well, let's just go with some points, I guess, right now. Legendary Legends 100.
What assassin droid and Jedi hunter did Darth Revan construct after the Mandalorian Wars in 3960 BBY?
Oh my god. That's a 100 level question?
Yep.
I haven't read the Darth Revan series in so long.
It's not in the Darth Revan series.
Oh, okay, that's even better. It's probably in one of the games, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Austin
Oh
should
my
know this.
Let's go with HT51.
Incorrect. Austin.
I don't remember the designation, but I remember HK. It's an HK droid, but I don't recall his numbers.
Can you describe him for me?
He's got like he's got 2 arms and 2 legs. He always starts his sentences by telling you what, like, if they're sarcastic or irritated.
What does he always call people?
People like humans.
Uh-huh.
They're meat suit. No, they're not meat suits. They're flesh bags. Meat bags.
The judges take it.
He's an HK. I just don't remember his designation.
The judges take it.
Yay!
His name is HK-47.
47.
Oh my
okay.
God.
Like Agent 47, but HK 47.
Hunter Killer 47.
Yep, exactly. I didn't think I needed to say Hunter Killer if I already knew HK.
Yeah, no, it was just HK-47.
All right,
So,
but yeah, Hunter Killer. I'm tied again. We're tied again. All right.
Wait,
Yeah,
was
we are.
that was for 300, wasn't it?
No, it was 100.
No, that was 100.
Oh,
That's why Jam Sully was so thrown off because he was like, "Wait, this is 100 for like a really what seems like a hard
Legends,
question."
Yeah, that was Legendary Legends.
So I'm gonna go. Who are they for 100?
Who are they for 100? Boxy rectangular shaped droid that walks very slowly.
Gonk.
No.
Correct.
It's a gonk droid
Yeah.
because it goes gonk while it walks, and randomly it'll just say gonk. Jedi text for 200.
Once only in Legends, but brought into canon with the Ramagon, what prevented explorations of the unknown regions of the galaxy?
That's because they lost the hyperspace lanes.
For what? Like, what caused them to lose the hyperspace lanes?
Oh, what caused them to lose the hyperspace
Uh-huh.
lanes?
There's something particular that prevents you from exploring the unknown regions.
Could it be like a force bomb? What is that thing called? That Revan, or not that Revan, but that Darth Bane does the that force. He makes a mine. No, crap. I'm just gonna go with like planet destroying gravity wells that caused a lot of asteroids and stuff from some force power.
Incorrect.
Okay.
James?
I don't think it's a force thing. Well, it may be. What prevent exploration of the unknown regions of the galaxy? All right, so I know through Timothy Zahn's new canon that you can still totally use the Force to travel through the unknown regions because that's how their group does it. So I would assume it's not a Force related thing. It's a it would have something to do with like a star, like because there's a lot of densities in the stars, a lot of clusters that are next to each other, causing comets and stuff like that going off. A gravity well?
I said gravity well.
Incorrect.
Hey, okay, so I just want to say before you give the answer that after rereading the question, this is another question that I grasped after reading it a second time, which I should have done earlier. You're not talking about inner space, because I was thinking of like the core, like deep core. You're talking about the outer regions.
Yes.
Yeah, so I totally, so I'm actually going to guess the Ujang Vong, like the war going on out there. As
Close.
Okay.
Close. The Yuzeng Vong had to go through this to get
Okay,
into
so I
the
still
galaxy.
don't even know it. Okay, yeah, what was it?
The galactic barrier.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Easy answer.
Okay.
Should have just said barrier. Duh. It's a freaking barrier.
All right, we got two more and then a final Jeopardy.
Yeah, who said it for 200?
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
That would be Darth Maul.
That is correct.
Yep. That was a good two.
One of the
easy
few
200.
lines that he has in episode 1.
Yeah. What'd you say, James Sully?
So that was an easy 200
Yeah, it was. All right, and then let's finish it off
with prequels.
This ship has a small cameo appearance in Revenge of the Sith, seen landing on Coruscant.
A small cameo appearance. This ship has a small cameo appearance. So in episode 3, It's seen landing on Coruscant as a cameo.
Mhm.
By cameo, would that also be an Easter egg, or am I asking too much?
It can be.
So with it being a cameo, that means it's probably not on there very long.
Right, yeah, cameo.
So
Yeah.
Easter egg would be
You got
the same.
you got
How much
about
time
30
do I have?
seconds.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the what would be a Spielberg alien thing? What about the ship from the mothership from Close Encounters of the Third Kind? That's what I'm gonna guess.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Okay.
James.
Small cameo appearance. Mention Sith in my name. Coruscant. What about the Predator ship?
That is also incorrect.
That was a good guess, though.
It was the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, of course it
Dude,
was.
Of course. See, I was gonna go in Star Wars universe, and I was
Yeah.
gonna think Slave One, but then I was like, well, it's a cameo, so it might not be in the same universe.
I was also actually thinking the Millennium Falcon. I was like, let's try and go with an Easter egg. Like, not
Right.
Easter egg. Like, I mean, technically it's still an Easter egg, but I meant like a reference to another, like a Spielberg franchise, because that's something that
Exactly.
George likes to do.
That's understandable. So
Dang.
right now, before we move into Final Jeopardy, James, you have 1,400. Austin, you have 1,700 points.
Woohoo!
All right.
Are you ready?
Oh, well,
Born ready.
technically, James Sully has 1,401 for his grand score.
No.
Well, technically,
For-
no, because that
This
was
is
between him and I.
yeah, that's between me and him.
Oh,
This is
okay.
between you two.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Ready.
I guess. How are we gonna chat?
Yeah. Use
Okay.
use the chat that we have here.
Okay.
You have 2 minutes to answer it.
Okay.
No Google.
Yep.
No looking it
Of
up.
course. Of course.
And
YOLO.
after the 2 minutes, you send your answer and the amount of your score that you bet.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Let's go. These two characters appeared in a self-titled Dark Horse parody comic where they were Jedi younglings that happened to escape Order 66, only to be part of every major event throughout the Star Wars franchise. Pride or Disney?
You know what sucks is I actually know exactly who you're talking about, but oh man. Okay.
This is fun. I enjoy this. Proton, you still there?
Hmm.
Guess he's too busy.
Oh no, it's not them.
You have 1 minute. How's your day going, Proton?
Dark Horse parody.
You say yes, and then you say, nope, I'm here. Did you send your answer already? I didn't say go.
Oh yeah, sorry, I jumped the gun. I couldn't my bad. Do you want me to type it again? I can type it again.
No, you got 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, time's up. Send your answer. All right.
So I want to point out that it's not kill. Okay, I did not type in kill.
You definitely. I'm looking at
Proton,
kill.
there is a huge chat lag.
Oh yeah.
Also, it's good to hear that work was very, very easy for you. So
Glad work was easy. Always a nice day.
Austin, you bet 0.
Yep, that's right. Because I don't remember the names of these people, but I think their story is hilarious. It is a great like spoof parody.
And you said both and Ian.
Both.
Both and Ian spies.
Yep.
And then James, you said Kill and Stitch for 1 point.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Lilo and Stitch.
That's funny. Why did it change
Don't
Lilo
know.
to Kill?
No, that's why I was like, what? What?
Autocorrect. You've lost your mind.
Both of you are wrong.
Of course.
It was Tag and Bink.
Yeah, dude, Tag and Bink. Yeah.
Okay.
See, Austin McConnell is who enlightened me on this.
Austin McConnell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a great video about them and their crazy adventure.
Yeah, so they start in, I think it is, they happen to be younglings during Order 66, so it picks up from episode 3 and continues on through episode 6. Tag and Bink show up as characters that shoot C-3PO and blow him up.
What?
During Cloud City. They're the 2 clone troopers that show up and shoot C-3PO.
Dude, well, hold on, you skipped episode 4. They were Vader's wingmen.
They were Vader's wingmen, and they were the ones that went into the reactor that Ben was at.
Oh yeah,
turned off.
Yeah, and like pretended they didn't notice him so that he could keep doing what he was doing.
Yeah, because they recognized him as Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And then in episode 6, they are on the Death Star helping the rebels, and they die on the Death Star.
Yep.
Because
they're the true heroes. Yeah, they're the true. Literally, anytime anything happens in 4, 5, and 6, that it's like, why on earth did they not get shot? Or like, why did that work? Or it's because it's them. It's because they're secretly helping. They disguise themselves as Empire and have been working to thwart the Empire as often as they can.
Because they were on Leia's ship originally, and then they hide away whenever Darth Vader shows up. 2 stormtroopers lag behind, and they take their suits by knocking them out.
Yeah, it's incredible. It is an incredible series of, and anytime you could ever point to plot convenience, it's like, no, it's not plot convenience. There's an explanation. These guys,
they're considered non-canon.
Yeah.
But whenever they were being published, there was a Star Wars encyclopedia that was released that kind of gave a wink, nod to them.
Yeah.
So, and that was okayed by Lucas. And plus, in several interviews, he had mentioned that it makes a lot of sense for them to be there.
My answer was also a reference to that comic series. Because remember whenever, what's her name?
Mama.
It's not Mama. Mon Mothma. That's it. Mon Mothma. Whenever she says many Bothian spies died or whatever, Both and Ian are 2 different guys. It's Both and Ian died to get the plans.
Yep.
It's not a species. It's just 2 dudes. Both and Ian, those spies, they died to get these plans.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. But you should read it. It's really good.
Yeah, actually, a buddy of ours, his dad is a huge Star Wars collector, and I actually think he owns copies of it. Or wait, no, I asked him about it, and he said it was too expensive for him to get because they're collector's edition. Like they're rare now.
Yeah,
So no,
they're
he
never going to be
doesn't.
reprinted either.
Yeah, I asked him if he did, and he said he looked into it. He knows what I'm talking about, and he said the price range was way too high.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
But just about any other Star Wars book, that guy owns it. It's crazy.
I wish I owned more Star Wars books, but all my collection is Comicsgate or
I own 0.
independent.
Yep,
You own
0.
Zero what?
Star Wars
Comics.
books.
Oh.
Star Wars anything. I don't own any of the movies. I don't own any of the books. I don't have any toys, posters, paraphernalia in general. I don't own any of it. I have nothing Star Wars. I don't even have a T-shirt that says Star Wars.
I think I have
Nothing.
I have the lightsabers and a Sith holocron and a Star Wars blanket that I've had since I was like 9 years old.
Yeah. I know that Star Wars blanket. So
Yeah.
I guess we could say once and for all, it's been settled. I am the master of Star Wars. I know more about Star Wars than Jam Sully.
Yep.
I'll definitely give you that. You were able to answer the questions that we both knew before me.
Fair enough.
But you
Fair
definitely
enough.
knew some. You knew some that I was like, I have no clue what this answer is.
I mean, I think the only real example that comes up is the HK-47, and I couldn't even remember 47. I only remembered it was the HK.
See, the only number or letter I knew in that was H. And that's just because I was like, I'm just gonna go with H.
Yeah, H was a good choice.
Yeah, he shows up in KOTOR.
And KOTOR 2.
Yeah.
See, I played KOTOR, but it wasn't the game that I was a huge fan of. I loved the idea of it, and I even kind of like the mechanics. But it's still another game that I care.
Isn't he a character in the first game that you can bypass? Like, you don't have to get him?
Yeah, you can bypass him.
Yeah.
But
You only
always
have to
go
get him
for
in
him.
2.
He's the best character.
But I'm just saying, if like, Jam Sully played through it and didn't realize, he might just not have gotten him.
Yeah, you can bypass HK-47 easily.
Yeah, he's not necessary.
Makes sense. I don't usually run around with droids. I'm like most cantina shops and any store in Star Wars.
Yeah, no droids.
No droids allowed.
Unless it's mission specific that you're making me take this droid.
Yeah, if you're having me take a droid, then I guess I'll do it. Fine.
I mean,
But
you
I'm
have no
not
other
going
option
to.
except to turn the game off.
Exactly. That's why I said
further than this.
That's why I said I guess.
No, it's not Berserker.
What is this, Berserker?
Berserker. So
Berserker.
Bear is somebody from Smudcast, and he's pretty freaking cool. He has a podcast called Sloppy Seconds.
That's a good name.
How do you get away with that? Oh wait, is he on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, how do you get away with that?
I mean, it's just words.
Yeah.
They don't mean anything.
Yeah, but like, what is that? There's a
Innuendo?
He had to change his name from Dong to Ding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But dong is the sound of a bell.
Yeah, that was his thought process, but I had to change that anyways.
That's weird.
I think y'all would enjoy watching Bear's stuff. His YouTube is Punished Berserker.
Oh, okay.
Berserker.
Like Punished Venom. Or
Yeah.
Punished Snake or whatever.
Yeah. But his name is Bear, and he brings on people from Smudcast onto his podcast and goes over videos like I do.
Word.
Okay.
Yeah. I like
He's
this
been
format.
doing it a lot longer than I have, though.
This is called Smudcast?
Smudcast is from Smudboy. Sloppy Seconds is Punished Berserker and Zach and a few others.
Okay.
It's all under the Smudverse.
Yeah,
Once
and
you
then
dive into the Smudverse.
we're the Sisyphus experience.
Yeah.
And we're also the Bear Thing show.
Yep.
The Bear.
Yeah. So
Can we
actually
only pronounce
gonna,
it with a German accent from now on?
give me a demonstration and maybe.
I have to go back and see some of the old sloppy second stuff to get the H stuff. Proton, I don't know it myself either. I had to go back and look at it. I do know that it's from Bear though.
I thought he was just asking what we were talking about with the H.
Hunter.
Nah.
Hunter x
Killer.
Hunter? Great show.
Well, no. That's not
You don't pronounce the X. You do not pronounce the
Hunter
X.
x
It's just Hunter. No,
It's just Hunter.
Yeah, that's what we're saying the same thing. Hunter x Hunter.
No.
No, the
Also-
X is the Hunter symbol. It's just
Also-
Hunter.
If you were going to say it as it is written, it would be Hunter cross Hunter. Thank you.
Hunter x Hunter? Heard.
Oh my
Thank you.
god.
I'm glad we are all on the same page here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Definitely.
James.
Counterpoint, I'm in command and I order you to stop complaining.
He's not complaining.
But I'm not complaining.
We are all on the same page. We're all on the same page. We're on 3 different pages. So we're all simultaneously on a page at the same time. Same page.
Same page.
There you go.
I get that. I get that. We are saying H because HK.
Oh, okay. You started saying
Hunter.
you started responding to him, and I was
Hunter.
like, "What?"
H
Hunter,
stands for
Killer,
Hunter.
47. Don't go for the 51 models because they're
It's-
terrible.
Oh yeah. They
So only
retro.
the
They
47
added
model?
some stuff that took away what made the 47 so good.
Wouldn't he be like a one of a
Like
kind? Is
inhibitor
Revenant's
chips
the one
or
that made
something.
it?
Revan
is.
made a 47 model. His
Yeah.
name is HK47, but there
Like
are
how-
other designations.
Yeah, like how C-3PO is a one of a kind because he was made by Anakin, but he is still a C model
Okay.
because there's other ones. But C-3PO
And like R2
in-
is a astromech droid. R2 is his designation. D2 is his nomenclature.
yeah, droids are weird. But I'm gonna have to actually wrap it up here and head off
Yep.
to bed. It's been a lot of fun. I just want to finish off by saying you should all like, comment, subscribe, share the videos if you enjoy them because we don't have social media, so we can't share the videos. So we need your help to do so.
And-
Leave some comments. Tell us what you think of everything. Check out
Who's
Cyreks'
Shiny?
channel. Huh?
Who is Shiny?
Shiny FX. He is a clone trooper. He is awesome. You should check him out.
Okay.
I will
I'll
send
definitely
you
do
a
that.
whole bunch of links to the
Yeah, please.
Smudverse.
Seriously, please
You
do it.
will
I
dive
would,
into the Smudverse.
Since
I
they
would
interrupted
totally like
me,
to check
never
them
mind.
out.
Don't subscribe to Cyreks' channel. You should, if you are, you should unsubscribe because he interrupted me while I was pitching his channel. So just watch our stuff and say F him and bye.
Yeah, definitely subscribe and like to Cyrek as
No.
well as the Bear Thing Show. Love you
No, he
guys. I'm
interrupted
also
us.
gonna get out of
I
here.
was-
Subscribe to the Bad Thing Show as well.
I was pitching his channel and he interrupted me, so now I don't care anymore.
I still care. Love all of you guys for watching. Thank you, Stalker.
You know what?
I wanna
You know
say
what? Don't even
Proton.
share any videos and unsubscribe from my channel.
What? I
Um,
don't want to do that.
Everybody watching this video, you should unsubscribe from the Bear Thing Show and you should go leave nasty comments and send emails to Cyrek that are all really insulting.
What? No, don't do that. Well, if you're gonna unsubscribe,
I'll dox him
to the Bear
on a
Thing Show
future
and
video
Cyrek, you
so
should
that you
definitely go
guys-
do something better with your life.
So that you guys can harass him.
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
We
I'm
need
sorry.
internet. I call all internet hate mobs to protest Cyrek and get him
Oh
canceled.
my goodness, that'd be terrible. Hashtag cancel Cyrek.
It's the same. No, it's the same philosophy as in Hero. No cutting, and he takes a pipe wrench and beats him to death because
Oh,
he cut in line. And I'm
what was
treating
that
you the
movie?
same way.
What was
Hero.
that movie actually called? Are you
Hero.
sure it's called Hero?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called Hero.
With Rainn Wilson? I don't think it was.
Yeah.
Hero.
I think it is. I think it's called Hero.
Heroes?
No,
Heroes?
Hero. Singular. Hero. I'm pretty sure it's called Hero. Hold on, I'll Google it real quick. I'm pretty sure
That's
it's
what I
Hero.
was doing.
Oh, you just Google it then. I don't have to Google it.
Super. That's what it's called.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Super.
Yeah, that's a great show. Or movie.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm using the same logic he was, that, cutting in line is bad, so beat him to death. Cyrac interrupted me, so cancel him,
Oh no.
Do you know who
because
was also
interrupting is
amazing in
bad.
that movie? Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon was great in that movie.
Wasn't Paige something in that movie?
Ellis Page? Ellen
Elliot
Page? Ellen
Page?
Page.
Elliot Page.
Yeah, Elliot Page. I forgot she name change.
When she
Gender change.
raped Ryan?
Yeah, she totally raped him in that movie.
Yeah, it was funny. She totally raped. It's a hilarious rape scene, which is something
weird.
you think you wouldn't say, but it was a funny rape.
It was a weird scene.
Yeah, it was great. That movie's weird.
So,
Yeah, which I guess now that would mean it was a homosexual rape.
either way, if you haven't watched Super, you should check it out. It's ridiculous.
I will.
And Juno, a man is having a baby. It's a weird movie, Juno.
Juno. Well, you can't retroactively go back and change it.
No, that's how this works.
What?
That is how this works.
They changed the name on Juno to Elliot Page.
She transitioned into a man, so now she's a man. So that means retroactively everything he did was as a man.
Whatever. I disagree with this entirely.
Just like Caitlyn Jenner won the Olympic gold on her big old. She was running and sweating and this big old tits.
All right.
I don't know what's
Juicy.
happening right now. I'm done with it. All right,
So
guys,
it was a Norm Macdonald. It's a Norm Macdonald joke.
Oh yeah, I don't do comedians.
Yeah.
But we're gonna cut it here. We'll see you all.
You know who
next
was a
time.
big fan of Hitler? Hitler's dog. Hitler's dog
Olympic
loved
gold for
Hitler
women.
Olympic
so
gold
much.
for women. Yes, Olympic gold for women.
Yep, the first ever.
All right.
All right, guys, it's been a lot of fun. Hey, do you have a signing out video, music thing?
No, not today.
All right, perfect. Bye.
Bye.